you all several years ago were a traveling mercenary band, a year ago, we're a traveling mercenary band. You took some time off to go handle some of your own personal business and things. And we're getting ready to actually start looking at reconnecting with each other when each of you were visited by a courier with an invitation. An invitation to one of your six party members, your six party members' wedding, Serafina. Now, Serafina, from everything that you recall about her, was she's kind of the wild anti-establishment. Like she's never been one for like rituals or ceremonies or anything like that. She's more a wild spirit kind of aspect. So this is kind of surprising and shocking to each of you all. But she has asked that you join her and be amongst her wedding party, her side of the wedding. She just wants you to be there to celebrate her special day. She has found the love of her life. In the letter, it goes on to say that everything he does is perfection. It's like the stars wrote their love. It's all these little things that just make her so happy. He waits on her hand and foot, but only when she wants it. And the letter just goes on and just kind of gives you a little bit more and more about who she is now. And it just doesn't, you want to be happy for her, but something in your soul is just not sitting right with it. You're not sure what, but there's something there that just doesn't fit. As you approach the inside of the town, you notice that it's a rather simple town. There is a mayor's mansion towards the back of the town that is built directly into the wall of the town, and that's a very common architectural choice in this part of the world. And you have several little smaller buildings and like little patches of farmland. It looks like they have been cultivated and perfectly grown and inside these small little green orbs, and they're kind of just floating around above the ground, which is, by the way, covered in snow and ice even in here. Once you're in the dome, the snow that's coming through, that is allowed through, that kind of pelts through, is this soft kind of snow globe powder. It's very, very soft. It's very, very gentle on your skin. It's not even that cold when it touches you. The wind is not buffeting you at all. And it just creates this sort of winter wonderland before you. And as you look ahead, as you enter the town proper, going down the main street that enters into the center square, you see a large statue standing there. And it looks like it's completely carved out of granite. And there's embellishments of cold iron built into it. The statue itself is of a half-elven woman who seems to be floating on the very air itself. It looks like the air has been crafted out of that cold iron accent that makes it like she's kind of gliding. She has long, flowy robes and sort of like these drapes of silk that hang from her arms that connect from her wrist to her elbow to her underarm. And her arms are outstretched and her head's kind of up, so you can see that full drapage. Around that, you see these 10 orange, like burnt orange flower vegetable. Like there's these podiums with these orange kind of flowers on it. In the center of that, you will see an archway that kind of frames the statue behind it. And there is a pool of water in front of the archway. It looks like there is a ceremony being set up as people are kind of setting up chairs and things of that nature. From the invitation, you know that you are actually supposed to be meeting your friend Serafina at the Manticore Spine Tavern, which is located sort of towards the east of the main road coming in. As you approach the Manticore Spine, following that path into that area, you do see sitting astride, much like the dragon in Harry Potter world, sitting across the top of the awning that leads into the Manticore Spine is a slain and stuffed manticore, a full-size manticore that looks like it's just sledding off. Its grimace is wide, and it is a terrifying visage. As you look up at it, it just seeing a creature like that, even though you know it's dead, it can't hurt you. It sends shivers down your spine. But it's cool. It's a cool looking novelty thing. Off to the left there, you see Papa Ferb's stables. And it looks like it is also sort of semi-connected to the tavern. As you approach the tavern, each of you in turn, go ahead and take a moment to describe yourselves.
I'm playing Chim, which is a rat folk. She is small. I don't remember the exact height or anything, but she's size small. She has white fur that's mottled with an auburn fur speckles, kind of one part on part of her face, covering her hands, her feet paws. Her ears are nice and pink, and she's got a rosy pink nose. And she has her clothes are comfortable. They aren't really armor necessarily, but it's more for when she's trying to get into tight spaces. She has bags and pockets and pouches everywhere, usually full of stuff, probably what you would consider junk, but to her, they're her treasures, and they will totally come in handy at some point. She also has a little construct with her. It's a kind of like a flat oval pancake looking thing that has little legs. It's got 6 legs, and 2 of which can be used as sort of hand type things, and it just follows her around. That she calls it Rusty because it tends not to be in the best quality sometimes. She has to repair it quite a bit, but Rusty's always by her side.
Ash is a Strix, so you guys would know she has wings, but when she's just walking around, her wings are draped in such a way that it almost just looks like a cloak kind of over her, so it's not everyone can just look at her and be like, oh yeah, you have wings. But she has like a bronzed tan skin, and always wears like various, it almost looks like army greens, kind of like just various different shades of green all the time. Always, never is wearing anything except for green. Hair kind of like she really should get it cut professionally, but she just keeps like kind of pulling strands out and keeping it short enough just to where it's not touching her shoulders or anything. It's just really choppy and not the best looking, but that's Ash.
Honestly, I haven't decided how to pronounce my character's name, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it right now as I dive into it. So, Mamie is a halfling. She's a halfling cleric. She's got, in true halfling fashion, she's not very tall. She stands very, very, proudly at 4.5 feet in height. She's definitely got like that air of like etherealness and just kind of like, I guess the best way to say it is like, crystal girls, in real life. Mamie's definitely like a crystal girl, she's a astrologer cleric. So definitely honors and worships the goddess that has dominion over this land. And she is just very, very in touch with her. Mamie has a dusting of freckles over her cheeks, very round, bright cheeks as well. She's of course got her little halfling ears. Hair kind of, well, for nice occasions like this, she has it like pulled back out of the way, but usually it's just like a tangle of like curly, like strawberry blonde hair and just impossible to manage. She's like putting on her best today for this, but usually she's like, draped in finery, scarves abound and all of that. But today, it seems like we're opting for just like a nice little, silver cocktail dress, some floaty tulle, and she definitely doesn't try to be part of the spotlight, but it just happens anyway by pure nature of being a crystal girl.
And when you do see that statue, you immediately resonate with it. Something about that statue feels very familiar to you. You feel at home here. which is an ironic concept when you consider that Dionysus is notorious, the goddess that is kind of revered above all here in this particular town, is the goddess, as I mentioned, of freedom and beauty and love, and the sky, the air, the outer space, all that kind of stuff. Really, it's all about the freedom of choice and of movement, honestly. So this town is very much, as you all look around, you do notice that the town is very much set up to be sort of a tourist stop, or maybe like a last pass before you go over to the opposite side of the mountain ridge. So this is kind of like your last chance for rest before you go to the other side of whichever journey you're going on. So it's a very nomadic place. So just want to put that in there.
I'll go next. I am playing Rue, who is a woodland elf druid. She stands at about 5'11", but instead of standing to her full height, she's actually very awkward and insecure, so she kind of hunches over a little bit and tries to kind of make herself smaller and not take up a whole lot of space. She has red hair that she normally wears pulled back in a braid, which her adventuring friends would know, but for this special occasion, she has her hair down and is wearing, instead of her usual kind of brown leather corset and pants and boots, she's wearing a long green dress to try and fit in. She is not necessarily totally socially adept as a nomad who has spent most of her time in the wilderness. And she has her usual, like, kind of down to the middle of her arms cloak made out of leaves, and her antlers and flowers all throughout her hair. But she's still, very clearly, in general, insecure and tries to not take up a lot of space, but especially in an environment she's unfamiliar with. She is the opposite of a crystal girl taking the spotlight. She is the little mud girl trying to, just hide in the corner, and if there's a cat at the party, she'd rather go pet the cat in the corner. So that's Rue.
I'm playing Jax. She's much more socially adept, very tailored, always very put together. Whereas some people always wear, one always wears green. She's pretty much always found clad in black. She's a very slight build and looks human. Her eyes look a little strange sometimes, but very mostly quiet, a lot of observing, but charismatic when she wants to be. Tends to observe situations and take things in before acting. So she appears a little more reserved until you get her in a situation where she's really comfortable. She's going to be probably just in a well-tailored looking suit. Just looking very fine for the occasion, but again, all in black, which is not appropriate for the occasion, but she doesn't care.
As you approach this inn, you start to see each other. I actually would like for you to go ahead and roll initiative for me. I just want to know what order you arrive into town. Now, for initiative, you're going to roll perception. Unless you're doing something specific, like sneaking around or trying to thieve something or doing something very specific in the moment when initiative is called for, you roll your perception.
I got a 23.
I got a 29.
All right.
This game is broken.
I got a 16.
I also got a 23.
I got a 14.
Okay, so my 29 arrives first, obviously.
Because she's so anxious. She is the anxious person who gets there 3 hours early. On time is late. Anyway.
Well, if you arrived that early, then you definitely saw the beginnings of them setting this ceremony up and things of that nature. You haven't seen your friend yet, or her betrothed, but you've just kind of been walking around and people watching, and you definitely noticed a lot more about how even the housing here. It's very transient. It's left behind items and borrowed items. The tavern itself is very it's a good sized tavern, but it looks like the rooms are more specifically for like adventurers. The housing in the area looks like it's more for people who vacation here, like having a house in the Hamptons or you know, up in the mountains to go skiing, something like that. It's kind of like that kind of atmosphere. If you ventured over into the caves at all, you would notice the series of caves actually go into a much deeper, darker part of the world than you really care to check out at the moment. It would take you a while to figure all the passages out, even as traveled as you are as a wilderness explorer. My 23s would arrive, you know, shortly thereafter, probably about an hour and a half or so after she does. So you all like kind of arrive in that specific order. So I will let you, as you arrive, you can kind of reconnect.
Rue in the tavern would probably be sitting, trying to be as unnoticeable as possible, but only noticeable to people who knew her, and just kind of like staying out of the way, sipping on some water, probably. Waiting.
Yeah, I think Ash would come in and immediately spot Rue, beeline, sit down and go, "We match!"
Yeah, we do. I forgot you like green so much.
How could you forget that?
I
don't wear anything else.
I know. I'm sorry, but
I don't think I have anything. Hey, look! And I point to our next character coming in.
Maybe as soon as she walks in, it's just like arms open wide, like that auntie we all know, you know, like, Rue! Oh my goodness, Ash! Oh, Gods be with us. I cannot believe you're finally, it's been so long, dearies. Look at how you match. It's like we've never been apart.
Yeah, it was an accident, but maybe it looks kind of cool. I don't know.
No, we're fated to be back together this way. Danessa has blessed us so much today.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree. I've missed your certainty, Mamie.
Yes, of course. I mean, how else can we're it's just as certain as the stars in the sky, of course.
All right, and then our next person will arrive.
I think that's probably me. I would sort of walk in and do like the anime glasses thing as I walk in, look around, kind of survey the room and see my companions, and walk in and approach the table, look and assess what's going on. And I didn't know we were coordinating outfits.
That's not really what happened. It was an accident.
This is not a dress.
And also, you don't wear anything but black.
That is true.
But yeah.
Sorry, I remember what Jax wears, and I didn't remember what you wear, Ash.
You know,
So
I didn't even think about it like that.
I'm sorry, I noticed, and I had to point it out in case you noticed and pointed it out first.
I take her water and start drinking it.
And she reaches after it, give it back.
Tug of war over the water.
Very frantic, anime tug of war back and forth. Yeah.
Good to see some things never change. And I pull out a chair and sit down.
And then Chim will arrive.
Yeah, so Chim, as she comes in, she's got on the white part of her face under her eye, she's got a grease mark. What looks like she took her paw, just kind of wiped something away. Now there's grease on her face. And as she's coming in, she's Rusty's kind of clanking behind her. She's like, come on, Rusty, we're late. I knew we were going to be late. You didn't have to break down. Oh, look, there's everybody. Okay, hi. Sorry, we're late. Rusty decided to have one of the episodes again, and I had to fix them. And is there something on my... Hi, it's been so long since I've seen you guys. How are you doing?
And as she finishes that, behind her, you hear Rusty go, and kind of spark.
Well, okay, hold that thought. I should probably take care of that before he explodes, because sometimes he does that, and that won't be good for anyone. And she'll turn around.
I feel like that's a bad omen for a wedding.
No, it's fine. He does it all the time. Good omens, bad omens. What are omens?
I don't know. Maybe ask Mamie about that.
We could certainly look to the stars and have that arranged if that's something that's really concerning for the rest of us.
No. I mean, I think the wedding is concerning for other reasons, but I don't know if we need to consult the stars about it this time.
Okay. Yeah.
Sometimes that takes a while.
Yeah, I understand. Yes.
Maybe later.
So, as you all take in the tavern around you, you see that in your travels in the past, there were some towns that you traveled through that your oddball arrangement of characters would have gotten a second glance. In this place, it doesn't. This is a very mixed and mingled society. You have humans, you have elves, you have halflings and all that, but you also have living amongst them bugbears and furbolgs and things of that nature as well. In fact, as I mentioned, that a largest sort of bugbear kind of walks into the tavern behind Chim. As she moves across to your table, he moves around to the bar, and you see him. He's kind of standing there. He's got sort of a long leather duster on and a pair of denim jeans at the bottom and no shirt underneath it. But you do see that he's wearing sort of a metallic looking belt that has all kinds of tools and gadgets and things on it. And he approaches the bar and he speaks to a human woman behind it. The human woman stands probably about, say about 6 feet tall, but she's got broad shoulders, very lean, muscular build, looks like she could handle herself in a fight. She has a half cut with half of her hair draping over to one side, and it's like a vibrant pink color. And you see her eyes kind of match that vibrant pink color. And she's up at the bar serving drinks. He walks over and they kind of lean in and they kiss each other, and then he moves around and goes down into the cellar, and she continues to serve. About that time, your long lost friend Seraphina enters the bar. Now, Seraphina is a slightly different species. She's known as what's called a ferox. They are a bloodline of people that were blessed by the goddess Feroxia, a phoenix goddess, given blood during a worse for wear birthing ceremony. Kind of sparked this magic within this species to where now they don't die out, they reincarnate, and they sort of remember their past lives. Because of that, that's sort of what gives Seraphina her flighty spirit, is because she has voices of her ancestors in her head that kind of lead her on her path, and it just depends on which one she answers to that day. But as she walks in, she's sort of a larger version of her race. She's on the larger side. She stands about 7 feet tall, and that's not uncommon for ferox, but that is on the larger end of the scale. But she's about 7 feet tall. She is, if the lady behind the bar is lean and muscular, Seraphina just dwarfs her. She just is this monster of a creature that has this sweet softness about her, even in her we'll say in her rage, as you've seen her from time to time. So she looks around the bar, just scattering, and you see there's a different look in her eyes. She's in love, and that's the only way that I can describe it. Is she is just floating as she crosses the bar to you all. She is just almost dancing as she comes to you, and it's a very odd contradiction to see her form and just her as graceful as she is. Because you would see her and you would think she would just kind of barrel over and pick one of you up just based on her height and her width and just how muscular she is. But she just kind of gracefully floats towards you, and she comes over and she just bends down and kisses each of you on the cheek in turn. Thank you so much for coming. I'm so happy to see you all.
Being weird. Why are you being weird?
Yeah, this isn't normal for you.
You see her hair is a long shade of burnt orange, much like the flowers around the statue outside. Her skin is a very deep copper tone, and her eyes are red in coloration. And you do know that they sort of set aflame and go glowing bright when she goes into her rage. But right now there's just a soft, like I said, gentleness behind it. And you see on her wrist that she has this sort of looping kind of tattoo around her wrist. And it's got Dantum's name in it. It says Dantum on the top of the wrist. And she goes, I am so glad you're here. I cannot wait for you to meet Dantum. He is the most wonderful man. Oh, it's so good. Let's get around. Let's get around to drinks first, and then we'll start the festivities. Rehearsal dinners tonight. Bachelorette party after that immediately. Weddings tomorrow morning. We're going to have a great time. I've got us all booked for the Tranquility Spa. We're going to have a great night tonight.
Oh, okay.
That sounds absolutely divine. It's such a pleasure to see how lovely and head over heels in love you are, Seraphina. I don't think I've ever seen you like this.
No, it's kind of strange.
I was just always looking for the right person, I guess. Look.
Yeah,
And she shows off her tattoo.
Is that permanent? Is that a good idea? Are you supposed to do that before the wedding or after the wedding? I never understood.
We just couldn't help ourselves. He's got the same one, although it says my name in it. It says Seraphina. It's the most cute little thing. I can't wait for you all to see it. And look, check this out. And she shows off the tattoo again, and it starts to glow a bright blue color. She goes, it glows whenever we think about each other.
When like that glows, is that like when you're thinking of him, his glows, or are you just thinking of him and now his name is glowing on your hand?
No. Like when he's thinking of me, mine glows, and when I think of him, his glows. Isn't that cute?
I mean that's good, but if you're in like a warren or a cave or you're exploring, I'm guessing you'd be like, hey, think of me, and you could use it as like a light. Or that also might be bad if you're sneaking around somewhere and you're like, he thinks of you because he's worried about you, and then it's like, hey, she's over here. Which might not be.
I think you're overthinking this. Gauntlets and gloves exist.
It feels like a liability, and it also feels weirdly surveillance-y, and I don't know. I'd rather just get a dog.
Dogs are kind of scary though. They're very big, and they don't like rats sometimes.
Your machines are kind of scary sometimes. I'd rather be around leaves. So, to each their own.
That's fair.
That's why we work so well together, Chim, is that we all have our own specialties.
We're always also practical. And about this time, the woman with the side cut comes over and she goes, all right, darlings, what will it be? Just so you know, the chicken is not good. We had to get rid of it. So anything else? We just found the chickens, I guess, were plagued, and I found them this morning all dead. So,
no!
Yeah, don't worry. All the other food was separated, so you don't have to worry about that. It is not contagious.
No, I'm worried about the chickens.
Oh, they were.
These things happen sometimes. They say sometimes just die in travel or transit. It just happens. Although these got here and then died overnight, I guess. But maybe they were just sick from the travel.
Does that normally happen?
Things
not
die.
Normally, but things die. Sometimes you just get bad batch.
This smacks of tomfoolery, I'm sure.
Yes.
Things live, things die. People eat.
I mean, weren't they going to be dead anyway when we ate them? I mean, I don't eat things when they're alive.
I don't eat meat, so not really on my hands,
Fair enough. We do still have the beef, the pork, and the vegetarian options, if you'd like any of that.
Can I get the vegetarian with, do you have tea?
And indeed we do, yes.
Just a nice loose leaf, rosy green tea.
Very well. Would you like the frostberry accoutrement? Do you want your tea hot or cold?
Oh, hot.
That answers that then. You do not want the frostberries.
No.
What about the rest of you? You want frostberries? We have frostberry mead and frostberry ale. One slightly sweeter, one is a little bit more body to it.
Both.
Frostberry ale.
Raspberry mead sounds divine.
Very
I
good.
have a little bit of mead, please.
Very good.
I'm going to stay sober to take care of them.
And Seraphina just kind
appreciate
of
that,
leans over and
Melanie.
goes, "Don't be a spoil sport. This is my wedding. I'm only going to get one."
I only get more anxious when I'm inebriated. You're more
You-
likely for me to have fun sober.
You raise a valid point. I forgot about that, but that is very true.
Mm-hmm.
And what about you, ma'am? What would you like?
Can I have the beef? No, the pork. Can I have a little bit of both? Is that possible? Like,
Yes.
oh, I'll do that then. And some of the vegetarian stuff. Can if I just get a little bit of all of them just on a little plate? That'd be great.
Sampler platter it is.
Yeah, that's a good way.
And
to put it.
Ash, who like wasn't listening, says, "I would like the chicken."
Very confused, looks at you and she says, "I'm very sorry, madam, but the chicken is not good. You do not want the chicken."
Ash, the chickens all died from disease. Didn't
What?
you hear him?
There was a whole conversation about the chicken. I know you
I
missed it.
gasped about them. This is why I didn't remember you wear green. You don't listen, so I don't listen to you.
So she finishes taking your orders and she scurries off. And Seraphina kind of like nudges her way into the booth next to Chim actually, and just kind of nudges you into the booth a little bit further.
Oh, okay.
All right. So tell me everything. How's your lives? What is happening? Are you still adventuring?
Yes and no. I mean, we're not really. I mean, I can't speak for everybody. I'm not really adventuring like we were, and we're really not together. Not like together, but adventuring troop thing, whatever you want to call it. But Rusty and I, we're still together, and we like to go to like the junkyards and find things. And oh, did I show you? I have a new bag that is bigger than my last bag, but I still have my old bag here full of stuff. I can show you some of my new things in my new bag. And she just takes out like a big like satchel bag and dumps it on the table, and it's just full of like bobs and bent like junk.
She starts looking through. She starts looking through it. She's fumbling through it, and she goes, "You know who would really love to see these things? Dantum."
Don't say.
Does he
So-
does he invent things too? Does he work on things too?
Oh no, but his eyes are just always so full of wonder and excitement.
And she like puts her stuff back in the bag. Like
Ash like meets like probably sitting across from Rue, I think, just meets Rue's eyes and just makes like a vomiting motion.
Yeah, and Rue isn't so much like disgusted, but Rue is like inherently distrusting of non-plant life or animals. So she doesn't like this person she hasn't met yet, or is at least like a little apprehensive. So she's just very like sipping, side eye, like continually making eye contact with Ash, like, I don't know about these.
Seraphina, may I actually look at your tattoo? I just wanted to get a closer look at it, see exactly like the intricate designs, and it just looks so beautiful. And also, I'm a little farther away from everybody else. I need to get a little closer.
Yeah. She holds it out to you.
Perfect. Zach, I'm actually interested in doing oddity identification. I have a sense for spells that twist minds or reveal secrets, and I gain a +2 circumstance bonus to occultism checks to identify magic. I wanted to see what the hell was going on with this tattoo.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an occult.
Yes. You've got to be fucking kidding me.
What'd you get?
I have all this bonus and I rolled a 16. Roll a 7 on the die.
You do detect there is magic in this band, and it is, you can't quite put your finger on exactly what it is, but there is more to it than she's described. It is more intricate spell work than just a simple, lighting effect, illusion effect. Whenever you think about somebody, there's more to it than that. I will say that you do get the enchantment school of magic.
Oh. What's the enchantment
Given
school?
that we've traveled together before, I would probably know where you were going with this. And the minute that you do that, I'm going to lock eyes with you and give you the "what'd you get" kind of.
Yeah, Rue is also hyper aware and has felt suspicious about the tattoo, so she's watching Mamie like very closely.
What is the enchantment school? I didn't catch it.
That is the School of Enchantment. The enchantment school is yeah. It's just a school, the magic school of enchantment. But that's as far as you can really. The spell work is very intricate, and it's a high level of magic. There's something about. There's definitely more to it than she's letting on. And about that time, as you're kind of looking at it, the doors fling open, and you see first 2, 3, 4 elven forms kind of walk into the room, and they kind of scatter about the tavern, and they're just kind of walking around and looking. And then this sweeping 6 foot tall man comes in, long dark blue cloak over a sort of silky kind of blue suit, white tie with a blue vest underneath it, and black, very, very well worn but well taken care of black riding boots. He walks in, he's got a cane in one hand, and he just slicked back jet black hair, and just this grin. And he's very handsome, he's very, very attractive, and he too just kind of walks into the inn, looks around, sees everybody in the inn, and kind of waves, and everybody just kind of reaches up and waves back to him, and then he sees Seraphina, and he just direct line. And he walks over and he's, "Darling, it is so good to see you. We're going to be separate for too long this night. We're not going to be able to see each other after we go to bed. So I wanted to come by and see you and meet your friends. I heard they arrived. Ladies, my name is Lord Dantum. It is a pleasure to meet you all." And he just in turn does a little bow to each of you.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Hi. I'm Rue.
It's nice to meet you, Rue.
I've heard so much about you already.
Likewise. Seraphina has not stopped talking about you for the past 3 weeks.
Seraphina hasn't stopped talking about you for the past 10 minutes.
Isn't love grand?
I guess.
Care to share how the two of you met?
Oh, it is a tale of wonder. I, bored out of my mind, sitting behind my desk all day, filling out paperwork, and in walks this gorgeous woman, placed before me in shackles after a rancid night of drinking and bar fighting. But we met, our eyes met, we locked gazes, and we just knew. And I tore the paperwork right there in front of me, the warrant to shreds for her. I took the shackles off of her and instead granted her my love as she granted me hers.
Well, Lord Dantum, isn't that... And then Mamie locks eyes for a second with Jax and Ash. Isn't that just enchanting?
Ash goes,
That it is.
"Oh."
Make me a deception check.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Okay.
That was very clever speak around, but I just want to see how well either of them pick up on it.
17?
Interestingly enough, Seraphina kind of gives you a look of, what are you up to? And he seems oblivious. He seems like he's got his love is in his eyesight, and he's just there, and he looks around the tavern and he goes, "Another round for my friends. In fact, another round for this whole place. We are celebrating this night." And he looks over to the bar and says, "Please, let's start the dinner preparations. We must begin to celebrate immediately." And you see the kitchen staff go to work. Actually, in behind the bar there, you notice that there's a largest looking fireplace. And as you pay closer attention to it, Chim, you'll notice especially, this fireplace seems rather technologically sound. It looks like it's been more designed to be an oven and a stove and a fireplace. And you can basically rearrange the flame where it jets from on the knobs on it. And so you see the kitchen staff go to work cooking on this giant fireplace stove that's behind the bar. As some others go and start, prepping vegetables on the bar, they're cutting up things and they're making the food right in front of you all. The bugbear that passed through earlier comes back up out of the cellar. He kind of stretches because he looks like he's like all the way hunched down in a cannonball as he climbs up this little ladder from the cellar, and he kind of stretches out, and you hear like several bones and joints pop and crack. And he walks over to where the young lady that is the owner of the establishment, his wife, is cutting up vegetables, and he just kind of like looks over and like sticks a claw through one of the carrots and puts it in his mouth, and she kind of swats at him with a rag, and he runs off out of the inn through the back door behind the bar.
You're awfully grandiose. Your love story, how you met, it really seems like you took control of the situation and our friend's life, and just you helped her out. I guess.
I could not think of such a beautiful creation in a prison cell.
It would have been the first time.
No, it probably not the last.
We've all collectively seen worse.
Together.
When you say maybe not the last, Seraphine and him kind of look at each other and snicker a little bit, and they go, well, hopefully so, in the same voice. Like, it's just like same perfect timing. They just kind of look at each other.
What are they? Why are they wanting to see the inside of a cell? Isn't that kind of weird? Right?
I don't know anymore. You two just seem so in sync. It's like magic.
Indeed.
And Rue
I just want to shout it from the rooftops, and he stands up and he dances around the room, and he just picks up random strangers, and he starts dancing with them, and all of a sudden the sleepy looking little halfling in the corner, in the top right corner of the tavern, kind of like wakes up and reaches down and pulls up a fiddle and starts playing music, and several other musicians that kind of are sitting around the bar kind of join in, and it just becomes this little dance show. And he in turn tries to get each of you up to dance as well.
Rue will sink further into her chair and just continually be shooting like all of her companions except for Seraphina like glances of like, what is happening?
Yeah, Ash will sink down too. Ash will go like as like under the table as she can. Like, please do not see me I'm no longer wanting to be part of this conversation. I'm just sinking down.
Jax will allow herself to get up and swept away, and mostly to get close to the situation and try to read it a little more. She thinks, I'm pretty sure something weird is going on here.
Okay, go ahead and make me a perception test. This is specifically to sense motive, so if you have any bonuses to sensing motive or anything like that.
That would be a perception plus whatever, or like a roll, and then whatever my perception bonus would be.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's going to be a 24.
24. Okay, so as you're dancing around the room with him, and he has this sort of, it's not like sickeningly sweet, but he has this sweet aroma about him. It is very, it's very much like if you walk past a market with a sea breeze blowing through it, and you've smelled the fresh produce. It's that kind of scent as you're dancing around with him. It's almost infectious in a certain way, but there's just something about his speech patterns and the way that he speaks. There's something in your stomach's like it just doesn't sit right. There's something off, and you can't quite put your finger on it, but there's something there.
I play along so that I don't raise any alarm bells. I am going along and jumping into this celebration and enjoying everything and sort of just observing and gathering whatever I can.
Jim would not sing. So if he wanted to dance with her, she would let him, but it would be really awkward since she's only like 3.5 feet tall. But otherwise she's just kind of drinking her drink and occasionally like looking over at where the oven is in the kitchen kind of longingly, like she wants, and if he doesn't come back with Jax soon to like pull another dance, she's gonna go try to sneak over to the kitchen because she really wants that oven's really cool looking. I want to go look at it.
Okay, all right. So he doesn't come back, but what does happen is Seraphina runs over and she's just like, "Isn't he so adorable?" And she scoops up Mammy and she scoops up Ash and she starts dancing around the room with both of you sitting astride her shoulders. And she just has you there and she's just kind of dancing around the room again, very gracefully, very purposefully. And missing tables, weaving in between traffic of people moving around with the food that they're serving. She doesn't bump into anybody, and it's just this perfect kind of ballet with the two of you sitting on her shoulders.
Seraphina, please watch out for the train. I do not wish for it to get torn again.
Oh, all right, very well. And she sets you down.
Oh, I'm so glad that wasn't me. Oh.
And then all of your food is served, and it kind of sets the bar back down to sort of a normal raucous kind of atmosphere. So the band is still playing, but it's a much more soft tone. Dinner is served. You guys get to sit there and eat. Your orders are provided for you, and none of this costs you anything. This is all on Lord Dantum this evening. And he, as you sit down to eat, he does say, "I have taken the liberties to acquire you each a room here at the Manticore Spine. It is the upstairs is completely rented out for you all. It is completely rented out for my bride. The whole floor is yours to do with what you will. I will be staying in one of the vacation homes across the way. I hope you all enjoy your evening. I'm going to take my dinner to go. I have some business to take care of. I hope you enjoy your friends, my dear." And he kisses her on the mouth. And he does,
what kind of business?
Oh, just wedding plans, more and more wedding things. The chickens this morning was a drastic, unfortunate mistake, an accident. And so hopefully the rest of the wedding will go smoothly, yes? And as he kisses her, you see the wristband on both of their arms glows bright blue. And then he just kind of backs away, longingly looking at her across the entire room. At this point, the rest of you aren't even in his field of vision. As he backs away across the room, kind of gliding, almost moonwalking towards the door. And the several elven gentlemen that had entered with him before, they follow him out as he leaves.
So he's weird, right? He's weird.
He's so weird.
He's super weird.
I'm glad I'm not marrying him.
Well, me too, silly. As Seraphina walks up behind you and hears that as she hears that last little statement there. Because if you were marrying him, I couldn't marry him, and that would just be crazy.
It would be such a bummer that you didn't marry him.
Crazy.
We would never want that to happen.
We need more drinks all around. And she orders more drinks. Now, the drinks that you did get, the frostberry brews that you did get, these berries are Rue, you would notice them right away. They're sort of a genetically spliced version of the good berry. However, these berries are grown in colder environments under the effects of winter druids typically. And as such, they create this sort of blueberry taste in whatever they're blended with or cooked in or put in. The problem with cooking them into things is whenever you take them off the vine, they remain frozen until you reach a certain temperature while cooking them. So there's a long process into baking them into things and that kind of stuff. But if you just drop them into drinks, it will instantly chill the drink that you got. So you can take a pitcher of ale or whatever, drop a few frostberries in it, and it will immediately chill that pitcher and its contents. And it also gives it sort of a sweeter, like I said, blueberry style taste. It's not exactly blueberries, but it's a very similar taste to that.
Frostberries are really cool. My cousin way up north makes some. They're really delicious, and now I'm regretting not getting any of the mead, but also I think you would all regret it if I did. I don't know.
I got two.
Tim, if you want to try to sneak away to go look at that oven, you are more than welcome to. Just give me a stealth roll.
I do. Stealth. That
and any of you that want to try to notice her sneak away, let me know and I will make a perception roll for you. Just tell me what your plus is.
That is a 23.
I would like to try to notice that.
Me too.
Okay, so Jack's first. What is your bonus?
For perception,
Yes.
it's a +9.
So you don't notice. And Rue, what is your bonus?
+10.
Okay, so you do see as Chim kind of just initially she just kind of slides down in her chair a little bit and she just kind of sinks down into it, and nobody else seems to be paying attention, but you kind of like it's up to you how you want to handle as far as if you call her out on it, but she, unless anybody calls her out on it, she just kind of slopes under the table and kind of skitters her way out and starts heading towards the bar.
I think Rue would just very softly just be like, Jim, be safe. Come back soon.
So you do get away unnoticed by everyone but Rue then.
She and Rusty would stay since he's very loud. She would just kind of like tell him to stay, and I don't know if he'd pretend to like be her like eating at the table or something.
So you tell them to stay, and they just kind of like hop up onto the table and kind of like walk around the table and get near each of the food plates and kind of not smell it, but just kind of bump into it, kind of like a Roomba, kind of bumps into a wall, but it just kind of pegs back and forth between the different plates before it jumps back into the booth and just sits there.
Ash just laughs and points and watches.
And Rue will
Things never
take
change.
the second mead that Ash was holding up and just commit to it.
Yes.
To everyone's chagrin.
All right, just as a baseline, let me see where everybody is after their first couple of drinks. So go ahead for me and make me fortitude saves. If you drank,
okay.
if you didn't drink, you don't have to do that.
No, I did.
It's
I'm
a
still
24.
learning this.
Yeah. 24 as well.
26.
17.
That is a 12.
12.
That tracks. That tracks.
So Rue finishes
I like
her
this.
drink, and immediately you can tell she's buzzed. You always have that one friend that you immediately know. She's not drunk. She's not like belligerent, but she has definitely got the buzz rolling now immediately.
She is the person, much like myself, who will keep telling everyone she's no longer sober now that she's not sober. So she'll just be like, oh my gosh, I can feel it in my bones.
I got a 17. Where does that put me? Is it?
This is definitely some stronger alcohol. Like it's a very high percentage of alcohol by volume. So you got a little buzz rolling. You can definitely feel the effects, but you're not like, none of you are mechanically affected yet.
Okay.
But it does make you have a sort of warm sensation in your bellies, even though the cold is there. It's almost like an icy hot feeling in your belly, but a full icy hot feeling. And it kind of makes you a little bit relaxed and calm and loose and that kind of thing.
Rue, are you having a good time? I'm having a wonderful time.
I don't fully know, because like there's part of me that's like extra hyper aware now, especially of like my own feelings. Oh, I don't think I think about those a lot. Oh no.
You want to talk about it?
I'm just going to
You wanna
start
talk
petting
about-
your head and go, it's not the time, sweetie. Have fun. We're having fun now.
Yes, yes, we're on board. We're having fun. Okay, stay here. I'm gonna go grab a big old pitcher. We're gonna take it. We're going to the caves. Get ready, ladies. We're going. And she-
Wait, caves now?
Yeah,
Drunk?
yeah.
Like drinking? Kind of?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to go to the caves when your woodland elf is tipsy? Oh
Yeah.
no, that's a bad idea.
Here, drink this, and then tell me it's a bad
Good
idea.
Good idea. Have
Ash,
fun.
will you make sure I don't fall?
I got you.
Uh,
And
Sarah-
I lock arms with her right now, even though we're still just
Are we just
in the
sitting?
building.
We're
Yeah,
just
I
sitting
got
down
you.
with arms. Amazing.
Seraphina will hold out a flask. Anybody that wants to take it. Here, we haven't drank together in so long. This is it. This is the last time.
Why is this the
why is it
last
the last
time?
Why
time?
is this last time?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Well,
Just in unison, all of us.
Oh.
Like,
I'll be I'll have responsibilities and stuff. I'll be busy, and you guys are always busy, and we don't ever get to see each other. When are you guys gonna come my way again?
To see you whenever, because that's what friends do.
I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, you guys can come visit anytime. And she runs off to the bar.
But will you come visit us?
Rusty was trying to grab the flask.
We better get Chim before we go, everybody.
Oh.
So, speaking of Chim, as you round the corner to where that oven is, and you kind of sneak your way back behind the bar, the staff doesn't seem to notice at all. They're not even paying attention to you. They're just making sure that everybody gets the food that they ordered and all this. But you see the oven looks like the different knobs on it are designed in such a way that they redirect the valves that send the spark out to the different outputs of flame. It also looks that this oven, if needed to be, could be modular. You could actually disconnect it from the wall it sits in and actually like wheel it out and move it to another location in the tavern should you need to. It is makeshift fine craftsmanship. It's jury rigged, but it's jury rigged in such a way that only an expert could have jury rigged it that way to work. Otherwise, it would just blow up in your face.
Well, Chim is very interested in what this knob does and try to figure out what the knob's like, because she can kind of see where the pipes lead, like with the valves and stuff. So she just wants to make sure, well, I think this one controls this fire, and then she's going to turn it to make sure that her hypothesis was correct.
Go ahead and make me a crafting check.
Okay. That is a 25.
Yeah, absolutely. You got this thing pegged down. With just a couple of seconds of looking over it, you know exactly which knob to turn on to make the burners on top go. You know which one to make the jet of flame. And you actually discover that there is a button that you can push on this thing that, looking at it initially, it's kind of hard to figure out what it does because it has these like runic symbols on it. But after a few minutes, you realize that this is a dragon breath jet. It looks like it is a self-defense mechanism that if they needed to maybe get rid of a robber, they could press this button and it would just shoot out a jet of flame at the robber or whatever. It is very skeptically designed, but seems to work anyway.
She will not push that one. She's a little bit smarter than that, but she's going to keep that in mind and be like, that is so cool. I'm going to make me one of these.
Yeah, with a 25, you can definitely notate how that thing is designed and you could recreate this later. Absolutely.
Cool. Yeah, so now that she has ruined whatever fire situation that they had going to cook the things, she's going to sneak back to the table.
So as you're coming back, you see Seraphina walk up to the bar and she goes, all right, here's what I need. And she starts rattling off different water skins full of different wines and meads and ales. And there's probably about, I'd say at least 2 wine skins full for each of you when she's done ordering. And she comes back and she just has arms full of alcohol. And she just kind of says, all right, get your favorites. And she kind of holds them out to you all.
Oh, what are we doing?
Wine, ale, mead. This one has whiskey in it.
I'm taking the one with whiskey.
We're gonna fight over it.
I'll take the ale, but I want some of your whiskey.
Oh, that's fine. This one's actually my personal one, and it just kind of continuously refills, so we can drink that all night too.
Drew will just grab a wine one to hold on to.
Are we ready?
As we're gonna be.
Yeah, so
that's what I
by
was
the
gonna
way,
say.
Chim, we're going into the caves inebriated.
Well, I'm not inebriated. Did you know that they have their oven is really cool? It can change fire.
Whoa,
Yeah.
really?
And there's a button you can push and it is like a dragon.
No.
Oh,
I've always
okay.
wanted a pet dragon.
So I'm totally making one of those when I get back home.
Cool.
An oven or a dragon?
A dragon
not
oven.
Yes. Yes.
An
That.
oven dragon.
Jim, your mind suddenly becomes alight with the possibilities. Somebody
So
had you
she-
hooked up to a CAT scan right now, it would just be like Christmas.
So, like, with one of her nails, she's going to start sketching, like, a little diagram onto the table.
Ah.
All right, let's go. Come, ladies, come.
But what's in the caves?
Oh, you're gonna see. You're gonna love it. Especially you. Mammy, you're gonna love it.
Okay, well, I start like packing up my crystals and like my tarot deck and everything. I'm like, all right, well, yeah, let's just go in the caves.
I'm gonna take the wineskin, the skinful of ale, and just look at everybody and go, time to roll, and start walking towards the door.
All right. So as you leave the inn and you kind of walk out, sitting before you is a carriage, not unlike you would see in your most epic princess fantasy. It is just sitting there white with this light blue kind of trim that seems to sort of almost glow with this effervescence. It doesn't seem to be pulled by anything or anyone. But as you all take your seats, as Seraphina jumps up in there first, you all take your seats, the cart just starts to roll on its own. The tires of this thing are also designed to go across the rock and the snow and the ice that you were all in. And it looks, Chim, to you very much like the same sort of craftsmanship that was done on the oven. It pulls you around out of the village, around the wall, up and to the north of the wall where you are, and you start to see those cave entrances again. They sort of delve into a darker atmosphere, but as you kind of go into them and round into the corners, you see these various mud pits and hot springs and different tables that are designed for you all to lay out on. There are these different sort of like lights that kind of float around, and you sort of get the same sensation of UV radiation off of them, almost like you're out in the sun. And if you wanted to like get a tan, you could do that under these sort of these dancing lights. Walking around this establishment, you see several semi-naked forms of humans, elves, pixies, different races of different genders and non-binary, and just this beautiful, elaborate smorgasbord of people. Some of them are obviously tourists that are there vacationing. Some of them are actually as you realize, you walk in here, you all have a pretty good read on people. These all seem to be some sort of an order of monks that have dedicated their lives to creating a blissful interaction with people all around them. It seems as if their very tenet is just to exist with one another in a very harmonious kind of fashion. And as you enter this cave, you do notice at the very back of the cave, and different exits towards the back of the cave lead to darker caverns. Those seem to have semi-naked forms standing in front of those doorways, and they're watching everything that is going down in the caves below. They seem to be almost standing guard over it. But there's, like I said, there's hot springs, there's drink stations, there's anything that you could possibly want if you're into narcotics or any other set sort of drug or anything like that. There are certain like naturally grown things in this cave that you can partake in. There's nothing like chemical per se. There's no alchemist in here working, but there are just natural remedies, minerals, things like that you can take that will enhance the experience, as it were.
Would Rue like kind of automatically recognize some of those substances that were natural hanging around and available?
Give me a nature check.
Absolutely. That is a 18.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely recognize at least 3 or 4 of the different things. You see several mushrooms growing along the walls. Those are very obviously hallucinogenic. You see under the same sort of floating dancing lights, you see this little grove of marijuana leaves that are kind of sprouting up from the ground. You also see these like electric yellow sort of vines. Those are unique to you. You have not seen those. And blended into the cave wall, it almost looks like bolts of electricity shooting across this dark sky as you look at that. But you haven't seen that before.
Rue will kind of point Mamie like towards all of the things and be like, so those on the wall, you'll see another plane of existence if you take them, and then those bushes kind of on the ground will make you like really giggly and relaxed, and then that like lightning stuff does something, but I don't know what.
What happens when you take all of them at once?
Oh, I don't know if I'd recommend that.
This soft voice speaks from behind you. It was very quiet. You didn't hear them come up to you, but there's a very soft feminine voice behind you that says, Euphoria.
Oh my God!
And she kind of coast away, and you see this at this small sort of like half elven form, kind of like very like sultry, just kind of coast away from you.
I can't decide if I'm intrigued by that or freaked out by that.
Did she scare the shit out of anybody else?
Yes, and I'm intrigued. Come on, Rue, let's try it. Oh my gosh. I mean, is Danessa gonna... Danessa's never gonna steer us wrong.
I mean, Rue and Euphoria don't really sound like they go together very well.
Are you sure?
I feel like they should more.
If you're saying no, then fine. But I would love to try it.
I've been put like I'm responsible, and that's a lot of responsibility. Rue.
Oh yeah, I asked Ash to make sure I didn't fall over. So like, the more I take in, the more Ash has to worry, and that doesn't feel fair. I'll take like one thing.
You see,
I'll do a mushroom.
Chim, you start to notice there's a lack of bot around you, and you start to panic a little bit, and you turn around real quick to try to find Rusty, and you see he's over at sort of one of the mud pits, and he's kind of like poking its little claws into the mud pit, just trying to get like, it looks like it's trying to test the consistency or the texture with its
be
pincers.
careful. You're going to get stuck. We haven't made the paddle feet for you yet.
And it is like trying to get its little arms out now, and it is.
Oh no! He's gonna sit there and like dig it about. She is not interested in any, like, this is not mechanical. There's no junk pieces for her to collect. She's not interested in any of this.
So what would you all like to do?
Ash, do you want to do a mushroom?
Yeah. Wait, no, I'm supposed to be in charge of you.
No, I want you to have fun too. If I fall, it's okay.
Seraphina walks over with like a handful of each of the things, and she's just like, I took one of each of these already.
Gonna be one of those kinds of nights. I'm going to.
You see, she's got that. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna take one of the mushrooms. I'm gonna pocket one of them for later. Okay. And then I'm going to take one and kind of hang on to it and sort of look at everyone else.
Okay. You see, Seraphina, she's got like one of the tubes of the yellow vine in her hand, and you see it sort of arcing with electricity. And she just kind of takes it and bites into it. And as she does, you see like it jolts through her whole body and just kind of like hits every nerve, because every fiber of her body kind of moves under the effects. And then all of a sudden it kind of surges in her eyes, and she kind of cannonball, and she runs and she jumps and just full force balls up and just splashes into the hot spring.
Rue will lean towards Mamie and like whisper, maybe under all these substances we can learn more about the truth of everything that's going on, because it feels a little weird.
Yeah, yes, of course. I mean, I take a swig of the mead from the wineskin, and I'm like, we might as well. I mean, what is that? What's the saying? Drunk words or sober thoughts or something?
Something. I don't know. I don't read a lot.
Well, Rue, it's okay. You don't need to have read a lot. I'm sorry.
I can't believe I broke Amber with
I wanna pull Mamie aside and just like I'm trying. I talk like I'm leading you over to go like pick the best mushroom or something, or maybe we should eat all of these 3. And as soon as I get you out of earshot, yeah, this is weird. This is weird.
It's listen, under normal circumstances, this would 100% be my shit. But this is exceedingly weird. I do not know how to feel about any of this, honestly. Although Euphoria does sound great. I'm not gonna lie.
Euphoria sounds great, but something's weird. Should we Euphoria while things are weird?
Rue, with
You're
no
right.
social
Jax.
skills at all, is gonna walk over to Mamie and Jax's conversation and be like, you can talk to all of us about it because we're all a little creeped out, Jax.
I was more concerned about our friend that we're referring to hearing my conversation, but thanks for that. I know that I can talk to all of you. That's great.
Okay,
I
well,
assume
just,
my.
never mind.
I was gonna say I assume my arm is still linked with Rue, so I was dragged up over here too, and I was just like.
I just look at you and go, welcome to the conversation. I guess we're all having this now.
Well, Chim's over with Rusty, still digging about, because every time she digs mud out, more comes in. She's like, ah!
So if you have taken a mushroom or any of the other drugs at this point, please give me one more fortitude save.
Okay, I definitely took. Wait, you said there were berries, right?
The berries are the frost berries that are in the drink. The yellowish kind of electric vine that's on the wall. That's one option. Of course, pot is an option if you want to take the time to do that. And then there are some speckled mushrooms that are on the wall.
Okay, yeah, I'll take them. I'll take a mushroom. Yeah.
So will Rue. Also, y'all, I made the Euphoria joke about Rue because I picked Rue's name from Rue from Euphoria. Just by the way.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take the mushroom. And then you said a fortitude check?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, real me wants to eat a mushroom. Does Jax eat a mushroom?
I got a 16 on that
16.
fortitude.
So
Okay.
did I.
16.
Hell yeah.
Was that it?
Rue and Mamie all along the way in terms of sober levels.
So, for the two of you, you're immediately taken to a place of just the colors in this place are exemplified. You're turned up to 11 at this point. And you look around the room and you see all these auras and these chakras just kind of blending. And in certain parts of the cave that you couldn't see before, you can now see the light of the aura of intermingling in some cases in the darker corners of the cave. And there's just different organizations and contraptions of that. But what draws your attention from all that is when you focus in on Seraphina. You see her aura is there, but it seems diminished. And where a vibrant, colorful aura would be, you see sort of this black smoke just kind of draping off of her.
I'm really hoping you share that. But
What in
meanwhile,
the
while you're
personal
doing that, I'm gonna
Dorolo-
look over at Ash and I'm just like, are you
What?
gonna with the anything of the stuff?
No. That sounds like a bad idea.
I feel like responsible is probably, yeah.
Why
like-
don't I have to be the responsible
I
one?
can be responsible. Do you like? I'll be responsible, or I'll be responsible with you.
That sounds good. That sounds
Okay, all right, responsible.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna pocket the mushrooms.
responsible.
Later.
Don't worry,
Later.
I got Rusty out. Rusty's fine.
Rusty.
Rusty starts his self-cleaning procedures and starts de-gunking his works, and you see sort of this kind of like shift in its form, and it kind of splits apart, and the panels kind of pop apart, and there's little sparks, and then it kind of rearranges itself and goes back to its normal functionality.
It's
Oh,
so
good.
cool.
He's working.
He's so cool.
Like maybe as like the mushroom like takes its form, she's like starting to touch everything just to get like that sensation. And she's like, oh, okay. Oh, this is Danessa. You really outdid yourself there. Jax. Sweetie, darling, precious.
Honey.
I'm very concerned for our friend, actually.
I'm super concerned, Ash.
Rue?
Concerned
do
for you.
Do you see what I see? with
Maybe
Seraphine?
I see it.
You want to share for the people in the room that can't see what you're seeing?
Seraphina at this point approaches you all, and you see as she approaches you, the two of you now, you hear this audible just
I don't like it.
sound, and it kind of just intermingles with the smoke that's draping off of her form.
Is there a Wendigo here? She's drenched in. Oh, Seraphina, sorry. Seraphina.
You guys should get like a massage or something. You all look so tense. Well, except for Rue. Rue doesn't look that tense.
I look super tense.
Well, now you
Rue
look
has
tense.
her fingers in her ears because of the noise she's hearing.
Rue didn't look tense a second ago, but now Rue's very tense. We should all drink. We should all make merry. We should we should get massages.
Massages are good. I like massages. That's okay.
Come.
Oh,
These wonderful people. They know how to work your inner chakras with just their hands. It's
my
incredible.
what?
I
My
don't
what?
want anyone touching
what?
me.
My sprockets? I don't have sprockets. Rusty has sprockets. I don't
You
have
should get a
sprockets.
massage.
No, that would probably not be good if they're gonna mess with his inner sprockets. 'Cause-
Rusty breaks when no one touches him. I don't think anyone should touch him, you know?
That's fair. That's absolutely fair.
Massages?
As long as they don't touch Rusty's sprockets.
I
I'm
don't know if
gonna
they're massage
sit
bots
out,
anyway.
but
Yeah, I
I'll
would rather
watch you all.
not be touched, but I will.
Like, yeah, Ash and I will just sit and watch because I don't like when other people touch me. I barely like when other people talk to me.
And now I need
don't
that on a
read,
shirt.
I don't socialize.
All right. So
I love her.
she's my spirit animal. Okay. All right. So those of you that did want massages, who is that? Who's doing that? Jim is doing that. All right. Jax is doing that. Seraphina is obviously doing that. What are the rest of you doing? Are you partaking in anything else that is in here, the hot springs or the mud or any of that? It's all available to you. It's all been paid for and all that is concerned, but it's up to you what you guys want to do. in that
I
meantime.
am sticking by Rue's side.
Okay.
Do you all want to maybe go, and by you all I mean Ash and Mamie, do you want to go to like the hot spring and talk about stuff?
Yes.
Because
I think that would feel divine, but also
Yeah.
yes, we should talk
I also
about
think
things.
that like watching people get massages is actually maybe a little bit weirder than I realized.
So you don't actually get to see them get the massages. When you go to get a massage, you are escorted into a private area. You can go as a party, you can go as individuals, but it is a private massaging area. So
I would suggest that we go as a group because I'm also trying to like continue to gauge the situation. So I'm like, all right, yeah, let's go get a massage, but let's do it together because that'll be more fun that way.
Okay, yeah, sure, yes.
and you don't have to like disrobe or anything like that. It's not that kind of place. It's whatever you guys are comfortable with. That's what they like. It's literally designed to be about your comfort and around your comfort of each individual person. So the experience that you want is what you get.
Yeah, I don't know what rat folk culture is typically like, but I feel like Jim probably is not very, like, she doesn't have much hang-ups about modesty. It's like, it's all fur, it's fine.
You will get like someone that is really about sort of massaging the fur and kind of disentangling if you have any tangled bits and things like that. They kind of scratch along, the right places, and it is very relaxing in that moment for you. It seems like whoever is massaging you knows exactly what your body needs in that moment. Like if you've got to hang up behind a wing, or your neck is out of sync or something like that, they just kind of immediately pick up and intuit that. The rest of you, me too. The rest of you, what are you? Are you following them into or are you going to the hot spring and talking there?
Hot spring, I
Okay.
think.
Hot spring.
Okay.
Absolutely hot spring.
So we'll start with you guys.
Rue will like sink in up to like her neck, like just be like barely above water. So things are weird.
Yeah, Ash does like that feather thing where like the water it gets on the wings and just kind of fluff them a little bit. Ah. And then realizes that she is here with the two that have the loosest minds currently, and I'm like, how did I become the mom friend here? What's going on?
Hey, the other
Amber's
mom
always
friend is dealing with
unwise.
the rest of the group.
Yeah.
Hey, so we should probably like describe better to Ash what we saw.
Yeah, I wasn't really listening before.
You're never listening.
I have better things to think about sometimes.
That's hurtful.
Better? I'm sorry. Who are you to... Anyway. All right. Ash, listen.
Okay.
Did you hear that, like, weird, like, screeching?
Yeah, it was like in our ears when Seraphina came back.
Definitely didn't hear that. No.
Okay. Well, that's coming off of Seraphina in, like, waves. Just like a bad, like, I mean, literally, you can feel the bad vibes. I mean, and she's just, like, just, her aura is... I know you don't really believe in auras, but believe... Her aura is completely black. Like,
And like the part of her we do know, like her aura that is her, like our friend, is like really small and like being kind of suffocated.
It's a lot. It's like, it's really dampening the vibe in here, you know what I mean? Like, it's
bad news.
I would like to think that how they're delivering this is like 20 times more dramatic
Oh yeah,
for me than it is than they think it is.
100%.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
think-
they're floating back, but it's really
I've
like they are
never
in
been
your
on
face and just kind of
mushrooms.
swimming around you. And just
Yeah,
like,
we're
no,
like-
you don't understand. Like, it's really bad. No, you just don't get it. Like, it's pouring off of her. Like, she's dying. It's over. Like, we got to do something. Like,
We've
it's
lost her.
yeah, it's
I've never been on shrooms, but I've had multiple really strong edibles, and that's like, it
Same.
feels like time and space.
Mhm.
Just
to put it
You
into
can
perspective.
feel your heartbeat.
Yeah, to put it into perspective, it was like basically you were having a great trip for a little bit, and then when you saw that, it turned it into a bad one, like immediately. And you still just thinking about it, that the sound is still in your brain. It's just echoing ever so slightly in your minds.
I'm so worried for our friend.
Okay, do you hear these noises or see these things with anyone else, or is it just her?
if I look around, do I see anything?
Everybody else here just seems to have a typical aura. Now, some of them are more diminished because some of them are just like, you know, they're 9-to-5ers and they've come here to go on their vacation and they're already in the mode of, I need a vacation for my vacation. And you can kind of tell those defeatist sort of attitudes by looking at them. Most of them are just kind of having a good time, laid back. There is, like I said, there's very vibrant colors coming from the darker corners of the cave where there's obviously things going on. But she seems to be the only person affected in here currently.
She's the only one in here that is just tripping. That's the best way to put. She's tripping. Actually, is there like a concentration of that like aura on her? Is it like concentrated on that tattoo, or is it mostly just like all over?
Make me a religion check.
Okay, I can do that. Indeed. Also, I just booked a massage. Thanks, Zach.
I'm here to help.
Amazing.
Why am I roll? Okay, an 18.
Dinesh is well known for using substances to progress your mind to a freer state. And that's kind of what these little recreational drugs in this cave are a nod to. In this moment, you kind of let your that sound in your ears drown out everyone around you at first. You go introspective and you start thinking about the way you saw her. You see the smoke coming off of her. You see her form standing kind of silhouetted through it. And it does seem to be oozing out of her wrist quite a bit. And in your ear, as if breaking through the glass barrier of that sound that is just drowning and draining and dragging you down, you hear this glass shatter, and behind it, a soft voice in your ear says, "He's feeding on her freedom." And you know that voice. You spend a good portion of your life seeking that voice. And in this holy place now, it seems that voice is giving you answers.
Mamie, you look like you just saw somebody die.
You good? You back? You back? You good?
Did you do your thing?
Yeah. Oh, shit. Okay, alright, we're good.
Are you supposed to curse in here?
I'm sorry?
Nothing.
It's a well-known saying. It's a well-known saying. Dinesh don't give a fuck.
What? Words, please. I need words. I don't have.
Sorry.
You're really worrying me.
Yeah, freedom.
Freedom! Yes!
Freedom!
Dantum is stifling her freedom.
Oh.
Well, yeah, they're getting married.
No, but more, well, listen.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yes. He's like controlling her. He's controlling her.
I knew it. And Rue will like slap her palms on the water, like as if it were a table, forgetting that it's not a solid surface. Like, I knew it!
Just a little like flat splash.
Sorry, Ash. You're fine. Okay. Well, we have to do something about it, right? Like, she's our friend. We can't just let this happen.
Yeah, we gotta kill him or something. No.
I mean, I see two options. I see we kill him or we cut off her arm.
We might have to do both. What if we have to cut off her arm to kill him?
Or maybe we don't have to kill anybody. Maybe we can just cut both of their arms off.
Yeah, but they have two arms. They could just do
They
it
can
again.
keep one. Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right. They could do it again. We have to take both of their arms.
It's basic math. Their legs. We might have to take their legs.
No, they can get a tattoo anywhere. We have to kill them both.
They just have to die. Oh my god. I can't believe it's becoming this. I could have done it too, y'all, but other people laughing makes me laugh.
Oh, me too.
I was there.
Get a tattoo anywhere. We gotta kill them both.
It's the only way.
It's our only option. We went straight to murder.
We went straight to cutting off limbs and then to murder.
Well, they were
You
like
left
hand
Ash
in hand.
in charge.
You left Ash in charge, and the two people who are drunk and high are making ideas.
We have to go tell them the plan.
Well, we can't tell them the plan when Seraphina's right there.
Shit.
Hey, so we're gonna kill Seraphina and her fiance to fix this whole problem. To free Seraphina from life.
Cannot wait for you to come tell me this plan.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Maybe that's a bad idea.
What other? What? I'm happy to hear other ideas.
Mamie, you always are full of great ideas.
Me?
Yes, you. Why are you shocked? You come in with your grandiose fate and stars all the time to talk to the stars again and ask what we should do.
Oh fuck. Listen, my goddess just talked to me directly for the first time ever. I'm a little fucked up right now.
About this time, there's just like
okay.
splashes of water as some like nondescript form kind of swims in between your group and just kind of under the water, just kind of makes its way through you all, and it kind of unsettles you a bit, but like they pass by and keep on moving.
Excuse you.
What's that?
I don't know.
You
I don't
didn't
like
touch
it.
me,
I would like to leave.
but it got close. I don't know. We gotta come up with a plan because I don't think we can just like. We definitely can't kill our friend in here, and then like also, the whole point is to save our friend. So I think we're being pretty counterintuitive.
You're right. You're right. I think we just need to kill him.
I mean, that's fine. He's a cop.
I also don't particularly care for men, so sure. But we're gonna. How are we gonna? Well,
we need to get Jax, and we need to get Shem. They're the better plan makers.
I think we made a great plan. All three of them.
yeah. The first plan, cut off arms. Second plan, cut off both arms. Third plan, just kill them. I mean, it was a very logical progression.
They made sense at the time.
Hindsight's 20/20 or something. I don't know. I don't read many books.
So, yes, the three of you found a kind of after a long series of spirally kind of hallways, you found yourself in a chamber that seems to be sort of dimly lit with these faintly glowing orbs. There are 3 tables that are outstretched to fit your body, and it is your choice how you want to go about that. As you get ready, there are 3 masseuses, I don't know, whatever, that kind of wander into the room. They all seem to be these darker skinned elves, long silvery kind of hair, tied back, and they seem to be triplets. They are bare-chested. All 3 are male or male presenting, and they have nothing on but a loincloth that does cover them completely, but it is very simple attire. You do notice that there is these silver kind of runic looking tattoos that have been etched into their skin, creating this sort of like labyrinth kind of effect on their bodies.
Yeah, but are they hot?
Sounds like my kind of Saturday night.
you would assume that they are attractive, yes.
Yeah, where's our episode 3 ladies when we need them?
I mean, I'm always ready to just come out whenever I need to, you know?
I love it. I love it so much.
But they come in, they wait for you to take your position, and then they go to rubbing you. They seem to have a sort of like faintly glowing, not dissimilar to the orbs that are floating around the room, but they're these sort of like figure 8 floating dime-shaped orbs that are kind of like just sort of floating around their ears. So a few of you are knowledgeable about magic. This would seem to be some sort of like enchanted item that provides like silence to them, so that they don't impart or hear anyone's conversations. If secrets are spilled in this room, they are not privy to them. So,
very interesting. Okay. So Serafina, how about regaling us with all the details? When and where did you get those matching tattoos?
Oh, the days have just blended together. They're so... Oh, when you're in love, you just forget time exists. Well, we met, I guess it was about 6 months ago. And Well, we got tattoos about a month later, and we moved in together about a month after that, and then we started talking about getting married, and ever since then, it's just been about getting married, and it's got to be the perfect wedding. He is so adamant that I get my perfect wedding. Except for Cira's Rest. His only thing was that we had to get married at Cira's Rest because this is like where his family's from or something.
Mm.
Have
So-
you met his family?
Oh no, they'll be here tomorrow for the wedding.
But if they're from here, then why are they not here already?
Oh, they travel. They're merchants. They do a lot of business trades and deals.
Oh.
That's where his money comes from. That's why he's a lord.
I see. Those tattoos are really cool. Tell me more. Who gave them to you? Where'd you get them? When'd you get them?
Oh, Dantum did him himself. He's so talented.
That's fantastic. How
Yeah.
soon after you met did you get those?
Oh, I think we got tattoos about a month after we met.
So,
I had been wanting to change something for a few days, and I don't know. I just felt like it was the right thing.
and so you didn't meet him or anything before he saved you from jail or whatever it was that you
No,
said.
I wasn't even looking for anybody.
It's usually how it happens.
He fell into my lap or I fell into his. I don't know. However it worked out.
How far away would I assume I am from the party at this point? Or the other half of my group?
I'd say you're probably, I don't know, maybe 150 feet.
Okay, so could I theoretically cast message right now?
What's the range?
500 feet for me.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to cast message and I'm going to message Ash and just go, so dude gave them the tattoos, by the way. Just FYI, he did that.
Ash looks very startled.
Yeah, you. It's been a long time since somebody's like you've had that happen before, but it's been a long time. At least a year since anybody's communicated with you like that. And all
I
of a
used
sudden,
to do it to you all the time.
There's this like sudden voice in your ear, and it's just a barely above an audible whisper, and you hear the words.
And you can reply, by the way.
As if
I
Jax-
can reply to that.
As if Jax were standing right next to you.
Yeah, so I say, oh, well, that's great. That's great. We have a plan, by the way.
Care to share the plan, or should it wait until we meet back up again?
We should talk about this in person.
Understood. I'll let you know if I find anything else out interesting. I'm doing that all under my breath while I'm like listening to her ramble about everything.
Oh, she's spilling all the beans. I mean, just like she's just talking on and on about his family and how excited she is to meet them, and then she's just doting. Like it's that those couples where when they're first it's that whole, but it's just over and over and over again.
I am engaging it as much as I can and trying to gain as much insight into the situation as I possibly can.
Okay, go ahead and give me a
Portion.
perception test. Chim, if you'd like to, you can do that as well, as you are in the same room and can hear as well.
Yeah, sure. You said perception?
Mm-hmm. This is sense motive, so if you get any bonuses to that for anything or purposes.
So I rolled a 20 and my bonus is +9, so that would be a total of 29.
Oh, so you rolled a nat 20.
I rolled a nat 20.
Let's go. Okay. All right. So as she's going through this, it is on the surface, her words are, I'm in love with him. He's my everything. I need him. He's my, it's very much, it almost seems rehearsed a little bit. But as you listen in more and more and more, she uses certain words as if Seraphine is trying to break through a little bit, and she says certain words that aren't exactly in the right placements, but they are used to emphasize that she's still there. But this is not Seraphina talking, and you get that.
I think I will probably just spend the rest of the time listening to her talk and gathering as much of that as I can. Like I'm sort of absorbing the whole thing and waiting to rejoin everyone else.
It is very much a case of like someone under distress trying to relay a secret message through control, like through a controlled environment. Like she's being held hostage.
Chim didn't get any of that. She's just zoning out. The massage is great. She doesn't know what Seraphina's talking about. She's going on and on about this dude she doesn't care about. She rolled a 9. So.
I love it.
So you haven't met his family, but you're getting married. Where does he live? Does he live here, or does he live where you met him?
He travels. We're gonna live on room service.
I see.
Like servants and the finest of everything.
You won't be rejoining us for jobs or work or anything in the future.
Oh no, I don't need to. Danton says I can retire and just go and see the world with him, wherever he wants.
Where he wants? What about what you want?
I want to be with him.
Okay. I'm gonna cast message again because it's cantrip and I can just keep doing this. Hey Ash.
Oh God.
So haven't met the parents. Definitely something weird. I'm getting this vibe, like the thing that she's saying isn't what she actually means, and there's something weird.
We know that. We know that there's something weird.
Well, I'm just confirming. There's.
Okay.
There needs to be a plan.
We have one. We have 3. We have 3 okay plans.
At this point, I would just I would let this continue to happen without playing out all of the entire conversation, and just kind of absorb as much as I possibly can. Rejoin the group as soon as our massages are done, and immediately go find Ash.
Okay. All right. So you kind of like let the conversation die out after that, and you kind of just let the massage take you and let them finish their work. After about an hour or so of them working through the knots and everything, when you stand up, all the travel weight and the last few battles and just those knots and kinks, they're just gone. And when you walk out of here, you just almost float. It's very nice. You're very relaxed. You're still anxious about what's going on with Seraphina, but as far as the muscle pain, it's much better. You wind your way back through the hallways and find yourself back in the massive cavern where the hot springs are.
Is Seraphina following us as we go find the others?
She is, yes. She seems almost in a trance on her own.
So
I'm gonna look at Seraphina and go, why don't you just jump in that hot spring over there? I'll be right over there. I'm gonna go collect everybody else so they can join us. And I'm gonna go get Ash.
Okay.
So, plan.
I look to my friends, and then I look back up. Okay, so we have 3 options.
3. I like 3. 3 is good because then we have options. Options are good.
Yes.
We're gonna kill him.
Seraphina walks out into the water and just starts kind of rinsing herself off while you guys are having this conversation.
So we kill him.
Mm-hmm.
That's a plan. Both of them were also in that at first, but then we realized that we only needed to kill one of them. We kill him. We cut their arms off. or we cut all their arms off. And like, I'm realizing now that the plans don't make any sense. And I'm like, no, wait, that wasn't it. It was.
Did you eat any of the things when I was gone?
No.
No, Ash didn't, and how dare you insinuate that?
No,
So
no,
they
no.
made the
Ash was
plan.
very responsible.
So they made the plan.
No,
Well-
it was a collaborative effort.
Maybe we got a little excited.
I know I was excited for options, but I don't like any of these options. Well, the first one's okay, I guess.
I
'cause
mean,
he's-
I'm
I don't
pretty
know.
sure we have to kill him.
I'm
He
pretty
seems
sure
like a
that's
bad
still-
guy.
That's the best plan, I think.
Like that might be the best plan. That still is disappointing that you had 3 plans and that's the best plan.
Well, I have Zone of Truth. We could make him like confess or something, or probably, I don't know.
What if we cast Zone of Truth on her?
I mean, will that work through a charm like this?
We could try.
Is it even a charm? I feel like she's possessed.
Wait, does Zone of Truth like affect everybody?
In the zone, yes.
Mm.
I feel like it's possible, but while she was talking, I just kind of got this impression that she's still in there. This is holding her back.
She is still in there. We saw her aura. It's just really diminished.
It's a long story.
I'm just afraid that
Really
if
good
she
drugs, right?
does go through with this wedding, that there's gonna be no Serafina. I spoke to Danessa.
Yay! For the first time, it was so cool.
I guess I gotta get really high to speak with her. It was great. It was
Lesson
like
learned.
Mom, but like she told me that he's stifling her freedom and stifling like her beauty and love, and like, you know, it just feels really like a bastardization of love. You know what's going on?
It's abusive.
Well, given the fact that he gave her the tattoo, that's probably accurate. So
Makes sense.
I'm thinking maybe cutting his arm off isn't a terrible idea. We could use that as an interrogation technique if we have to.
Oh, I like it.
I mean, if we cast Zone of Truth, even though it affects everybody, I mean, we don't have anything to hide from each other, right?
Right.
No, not today at least.
I mean, unless you want to know where my secret stashes are, I'm not telling you that. Don't ask me.
Now I'm gonna ask you.
I
No,
mean, there
You can't
are-
ask me because I don't want to tell you because it's where the
Why?
good stuff is.
There
Why
are
do you keep
questions
handing
I
Ash
don't-
the cookie? You
I
just
don't
hand
wanna
the
answer,
cookie.
but
I didn't give her any cookie. I don't.
It's
do you have
a
any
verbal
cookies?
cookie.
It's
It's
a
like
meta-
a big
it's
red button that says,
metaphorical.
"Don't press me."
Chim, it's okay. It's metaphorical. I know. I don't. That's a big word. I don't read a lot of books, but it's a metaphorical cookie.
I could make a cookie out of some of the junk I have.
Oh,
Forget
You
the
want that?
cookie. The
No,
cookie is
no
not
more
important.
cookies.
Okay.
No more.
I would like the cookie though.
Somebody just kind of floats
Okay.
by, like on the water bank next to you. You just see this form kind of float by and goes, "You give a mouse a cookie, man." Just kind of keeps floating on.
I'm a rat, but thank you.
I think we just forget the cookies. Just get in the pool. Just go get in the pool. Like she's gonna start thinking something. Well, I don't know. Maybe she won't think anything's weird because look at her.
I think we should Zone of Truth her. Either we figure out what whoever is. Either she'll talk or the other her will talk.
Either way,
Either
it might
way.
give us something.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
let's
we'll
go.
at the very least learn if Zone of Truth works on her at all, and if it doesn't, then we know the situation is even more dire.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
okay,
have Zone
the
of Truth though, so
Well, first, should like one of us be asking the questions and the rest of us just like watching, or do we all ask the questions and should we do that here? Because like, what if somebody swims into the zone and then they just start telling us their life story? I don't know if I can handle that because I mean, I'm okay with hearing your non-lies, your truths, but I don't know if I want to hear everybody else's.
I
Well,
mean,
maybe it's just a like wedding party VIP pool.
Maybe we can get like a private situation going here and kind of all go have a minute.
Yeah, and
Um,
I think it'll be less suspicious if it's kind of conversational with all of us.
Also, just be aware that the creature can choose if they don't want to answer the question, they can avoid answering the question.
Which
But
in turn kind of answers the question.
yes. So I would just for you all, and it is
Yes.
a 20-foot area burst. And if you start in when the spell goes off in the area, or the first time you enter the area, you make the save.
I think I'm gonna get up and I'm going to go try and get us a private pool.
Okay. So you approach one of the attendants, and as you approach, you see this the first one that you find is this rather large form, and as you approach it from the back, and you see this sort of tail kind of swishing back and forth with a little tuft of fur on the end of it. As you get up close to it, the form turns around, and you see this male minotaur just standing there, just completely bare-chested, but wearing some sort of like shortened trunks. But the tail kind of has a hole cut in the back so it can swish around freely. And he's wearing no shoes, of course. He just has the hooves down there, but he has curved horns that come off the front of his head that kind of dip down and kind of curve up back like that. And he has these golden rings that kind of like line both horns on either side. There's one long kind of scar that goes down the edge of his face, and as you approach, he just kind of turns around and goes, "Can I help you?"
That jewelry is fantastic. I was wondering
Thank
if I
you.
could get a private pool for me and my friends. See, it's bachelorette party whole thing, and we'd like some time to just kind of tell stories and not disturb anyone else.
Absolutely. Yeah. You want to get your friends first, or do you want me to show you the room first?
Why don't you show me the room and then I'll go collect all of them?
That sounds like a plan. And he just kind of like goes and takes you down another little kind of cutout corridor. And as you first walk into it, it looks like it's just kind of an alcove. But as you move through it, you see the stone starts to mold and move and shape before your eyes this time. Last time you kind of got lost in the shuffle of the spiraling, but this time you actually notice that the stone is actually shaping to your movements as you walk through it. And you sort of find this little, I'd say probably 30 foot by 30 foot little cavern with a 15 by 15 foot pool. And if you look down into it, it looks like the pool in the center goes down to maybe 15 or so feet.
Will I be able to find my way back here without a guide, or is that going to be... Do I need someone to show us there?
Just follow the lights out, and you see these lights kind of like start lining the hallway that form behind you.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
Anytime.
I'm going to go, back over to the pool where everyone is and go, "Hey, y'all, I got us a private pool. Thought it would be more fun to kind of have, last night as girls."
Oh, a pool for us?
Yeah.
You're so
That
smart, Jax.
Sounds so great.
Let's go.
Like-
I'll show you where it is.
Party pool.
She kind of like
I do
pushes
love a
herself
party.
up out of the pool, and you can see like if she wanted to, she could just kind of push herself up and just leap to her feet, but she just kind of modestly pushes herself up slowly and comes up and stands up and makes her way towards you all.
I'm
Rue
gonna
slips
leave
on her
everybody
way
down.
out. She first sure slips and has to
Wait, can I
scramble.
roll to see if I catch you? I am on Rue guard.
I mean, if you want.
What am I rolling? It's bad, whatever it is.
Well, if it's bad, who cares?
But wait, what am I adding to it here?
Lux, wasn't it?
Yeah, what would that be? What I wonder, Zach, to roll to catch me, would that be acrobatics, athletics?
Let's do a reflex save.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, in that case, that's an 18.
Oh yeah, no
Oh.
problem. It's just instant. Like you don't even
Scoop.
look. It's kind of, just,
Oh, thank you, Ash. That was real close.
you've been on high alert for just that reason all night long.
Ash like falls asleep now that it happened. Like, oh,
My work here's done.
that was my one.
That's all you get. That's all you paid for. I'm out.
I was responsible. I caught you. I'm done now.
Just like unceremoniously drop after you caught. Just like
Yeah, just plunk. Yeah, but Rue will then scramble after everybody else to the private pool.
Lead everybody right down.
Okay. So you all follow, and you find the hallway just as perfectly as before. These sort of lavender kind of lights that are just kind of floating down the hallway. You see is almost if the direction you're going is kind of the lights are floating along with you and kind of refreshing themselves. And you kind of follow your way to the pool, which has now got these little fireflies that are just kind of floating around in the room that you're in, creating sort of a nice little dimly lit ambiance.
Oh my god. Okay, the vibes in here are instantly a lot more immaculate than they were in there.
I would agree. I think this is the perfect place for, I think, what is colloquially known as girl talk.
Oh, should Rusty have been left up there then? I mean, they don't really have a gender though. It's more
Yeah,
like
that's okay.
Girl talk. I love girl talk. And she kind of steps back into the pool and sits down and gets herself comfortable. That's an immediate red flag. Seraphina was always the one that when girl talk popped up, she got up and she walked out. She ain't having time for that. She went out to train or she went out to do something else, but she ain't having time for that.
Wow, Seraphina, that's new. You used to hate chatting.
Oh, yeah, but
Love changes you.
Well, yeah.
Makes you a whole new person, doesn't it?
I just give Ash this I don't like it face.
Brand new person.
Brand new person.
I'm really glad that I think this is a good truth zone for all of us to be really honest with each other.
Is everyone like comfortable? Like, does everyone have like a pillow or like a drink or?
Chim is going to lean into Seraphine. Did he mess with your sprockets?
I don't have sprockets.
I didn't think so, but they were talking.
Who would mess with my sprockets if I had them?
Your whatever it is, your. And she points to the tattoo because she is awful with names.
Jim.
What? Oh, sorry.
Anyway.
About that time, the Minotaur returns. Would you all like anything? Drinks, snacks, mud masks?
Do you think you could prepare like your finest charcuterie board, please? Like the most elaborate you can deign. We're just...
I want cookies.
And cookies, yes. Fruit plate. Just...
Cheese. Yeah, lots of cheese on that board.
Yes, cheese. We need all the food groups, clearly.
It's been a while. We have a lot to talk. We've not been together in a long time, so we have a lot to talk about. And they'll tell you I can talk a lot. So we definitely need lots of food.
Do you have any poisonous plants?
What?
Do. Would you like some?
No.
Don't mind her. She's fine.
I would like some for my supplies.
Okie dokie. That might take me a little bit to round up. I'll see what I can do. In the meantime, your food will be working immediately. And he turns and he walks out. He kind of lumbers out slowly.
Good. I hope he takes more than 10 minutes doing this. And then I as I'm taking a pillow and smoothing out my skirts or whatever, I'm actually casting Zone of Truth as I'm doing that, just to not
Okay.
arouse suspicion.
All right. Give me a sleight of hand check just for the gesturing on the somatic components of it. Thievery. I'm sorry, thievery.
Thievery. Okay, great. Why am I rolling like shit? I rolled an 8.
Seraphina notices you doing it, but just kind of is in that high mode where she just doesn't really put 2 and 2 together. She sees you casting a spell. She doesn't know what spell you're casting.
Okay, cool. All right.
She's too high at this point to be suspicious of it at this moment in time. She's just kind of just floating in the water.
Well, Zone of Truth is cast, so whoever
everybody in the room needs to make will saves.
What do you have to beat?
What is your spell?
My DC is 21.
Cool, I got an 11.
I got an 18.
I got an 11.
Let's see, it'd be a 25.
No, I wanted to ask you about your secret stash. Like, I immediately turn and say, so, where's your secret stash?
All right, so
It's
if you rolled 11 or lower, it's a critical fail
Oh God.
because your DC is a 21, right?
Yeah, my
If
DC.
it's
Hooray.
under 21, it's a failure. So, on Zone of Truth, on a failure, the target can't speak any deliberate and intentional lies, and you take a -2 penalty to deception checks. For critical failure, the same thing, but you take -4 to deception
Okay.
check.
Great.
So, everyone that failed cannot lie intentionally. You can avoid the question. And Seraphina also seems to be under the influence of your spell. Not as deeply as, say, Ash or Rue, but she is under the effects.
Wow, Seraphina, if you had to describe what this love has been like for you, how would you describe it?
Conflicting.
How so? Why?
Because sometimes I want all of it. I want it every bit. Sometimes, I don't know, it feels weird.
I mean, love's kind of weird, yeah? I mean, is he weird?
No, he's wonderful. And then her face falls a little bit.
Whose idea was it to get married?
His.
Did you want to when he said it?
Yeah.
Did you
Like-
want to before he asked?
I don't remember. I just remember him.
What will happen if you don't get married?
I'll be unhappy. I'll be miserable.
But you were happy with us, weren't you?
And this is the first time you see Seraphina in her face when she answers. She looks at you and she goes, yeah.
You really want to retire and leave us?
This time, when you ask that, tears start to well up in her eyes.
Oh, Seraphina. And Rue will
And you
kind of
see-
swim over.
As you approach her, Seraphina's not there anymore.
Oh. And Rue stops, just short of getting there to console her.
And now all of you see black smoke start to pillow out of her eyes, and in her mouth, and her ears.
I didn't
And
take
then-
anything. I didn't
In
eat
a
anything. I
completely
swear.
different voice coming out of Seraphina's mouth, you hear, "We can have an enjoyable time, or we can have a tragedy." And Seraphina pulls a knife from her garter and shoves it to her neck.
What?
There's no need for that.
To whoever is speaking that,
There's just
I think
tears
we'll have a
just
lovely
streaming.
time.
Who are you?
I am what remains.
Remains come from something. What's the whole thing?
She's mine.
No, she's not.
She's never been yours.
She's
This is the
yours.
worst trip I've ever been on.
This is a bad trip. She belongs to herself and herself only.
You start to see the hand shake, and the knife is starting to etch into her throat, and it's starting to, a little stream of blood is starting to go down.
Rue grabs the wrist.
Yeah. How far away are the rest of us from her? Because we have to be within like 20 feet or something, right?
Yeah, I assume this room isn't very big.
I'd say you're probably the room the whole room was 30 feet. The pool was 15 feet by 15 feet. So at most you're 15 feet apart. However, it is difficult terrain.
Rue's
You grab
hand
the wrist.
that's holding the knife. Yeah.
Make me a strength check.
Great. I'm really.
Or actually an athletics check. Make me an athletics check.
Okay.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So I can glide with my wings. So all that does is give me like an extra, like a bonus to my jumping distance and everything. So would I be able to like jump and tackle if something goes wrong with, like I'm specifically watching this encounter. If she can get the knife away, cool. But if there's some sort of struggle, I would like to try to like basically tackle her, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. You can get yourself up enough air pressure underneath to kind of launch yourself out of the water to get to her quicker.
Okay.
I would allow that.
I'm also wondering if calm emotions would work given the thing that's got her. I don't know if that would work in this given situation.
Rue, what did you get on your athletics
A
check?
19.
A 19. It is a battle, and for the time being, you've got the hand held. The blade is still at the throat, but you've got a hold on it for right this second.
Y'all, I need more help.
I will jump at the sound of I need help. I will.
Okay, go ahead and make me an athletics check.
Oh God. Okay. That is a natural 20. For a 22.
Okay, so you launch yourself at Seraphina, and the knife is there, and Rue's got the hand held. You kind of end up putting your talons in this shoulder over here to avoid hitting the knife any further, and it kind of spins you both around into the pool, and you're both kind of like prone in the pool now.
Great.
The knife is still in Seraphina's hand, and Rue still has a hold of it, but you're all kind of underwater at this point.
Can I just cast calm emotions and try and cool this shit
Everybody
down?
calm the fuck down.
Is that an AoE as well?
Yeah, the area says a 10-foot burst, so I would go over to the situation as close as I can without getting wrapped up in it.
Yeah.
It looks like my DC is 21.
Good. I rolled a 26 on that will save.
55.
15.
28.
I am calm.
Chill, bro. Calmer than you are.
Seraphina blacks out and is just kind of floating under the water.
I will make sure I'll pull her up at least to the surface to
Yeah, I'm
breathe.
gonna help pull her up to the
Rue
surface.
will help too, but Rue
Yeah.
is the least helpful.
Chim is gonna go. I don't know how deep the water is, but she'll somehow wade over there and get the knife that Seraphina had.
We should put her on the knot in the pool.
Is she like? How is Seraphina looking like health wise?
After that, her skin is sunken, her face is gone shallow, and like the colors kind of drained from it. So where it once was a rich kind of copper tone, it looks more like a dead kind of like tarnished bronze now.
You guys, if we get her laying down, I have something I want to try.
Okay. Yeah, I'll
Yes.
pull her out of the pool, lay her down. I'm gonna check her for any more weapons, though.
Oh, smart call. That's what I was thinking too.
Okay,
Can
go
I
ahead and
try?
make me a perception test. Ash.
Perception. 25.
25. You do find several other knives hidden in various places, which is common for Seraphina, actually. That is one of the last remaining traits of her that you found true to her. All right, and then Rue, you were doing something?
I wanted to try and cast Dispel Magic on her tattoo.
So you would roll and add your proficiency modifier and your spellcasting ability modifier.
So that's a 28.
28. Okay. So as Seraphina lies there, Rue starts to cast the spell. And as you do, you start to see this bulbous kind of form pull from the body. The tattoo starts to shift under the skin, and it actually starts to like also pulse with like physicality and kinetic energy underneath the skin. And as it happens and you start to pull that spell from her, you see this Chitinous like body come from under the skin, peeling back through the wrist. And you see legs crying and trying to get back into Seraphina. As this is happening, Seraphina starts to lift off the ground, her body just lifeless, swirling in this sort of like spherical pattern. In that moment, the smoke starts to billow from her in all directions, and you hear this like cackling, crass shriek coming from like almost, it sounds like it's coming from every pore of her body, almost as if this is absolutely draining her of her form, of her existence on this plane. And you just keep prying and prying and prying, and some of you are like looking and begging, almost want to beg to stop because you think it's going to kill her. In that moment, as the last of the smoke billows off of her form, you see her eyes kind of go kind of sunken in completely. They shut back down, and she lowers back down to the ground, and this little centipede-looking creature is kind of crawling along the floor now.
Somebody smash it.
Kill it!
Jim's gonna try to actually just grab it.
Okay.
Don't touch it. Don't hold it.
Make me a melee
just
attack.
crawled out of her.
Melee attack?
Yes.
An 11.
An 11. So you're able to reach out and quickly snag this thing. It's not very hard to get your hand around it. But as you do, it starts trying to bite and pry into you.
I'm going to use, I don't think they're technically weapons, like stats-wise, but, you know, she has little claws, like her nails are longer. So she's going to just kind of dig her claws into it, holding it still, like, you know, kind of like you would a snake, like on the back of the head.
Your claws, you try to like dig into it.
Yeah,
and
like just
your nail actually snaps against its body. It completely chips off, and it's immediately painful. Not enough to cause like hit point damage, but like you, it's that real like you in a Stir of Echoes when she's dragging the fingers and the nail snaps. That's what
that reference. I love you for that reference.
Love and hate you for that reference.
So so it kind of just snaps in the body, and the body doesn't seem to be affected by it at all.
When that happens, she just drops it, just more out of shock than anything.
All right. Let's go ahead and roll a quick initiative real fast to make me a perception.
So I rolled a natural 20.
21.
Gosh.
21.
29.
29.
Nice. Got a 10.
I will improve the degree of success and give you a critical success on this perception test. Therefore, I'll give you the first action, Jax.
Fair.
Oh, snap. Okay, I guess I'm going to, now that she's dropped it, I'm probably the first attempt I would make would be to try and like grab one of my daggers and just stab it.
Okay.
Like I'm going for like skewer the bug.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a dagger attack roll.
That'll be a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll damage for me.
So I rolled a 2. Do I add anything to the damage, or it's just
your
the straight
dexterity,
dice?
your dexterity modifier, if you like to add that, or your strength, whichever one is higher. You can pick or choose.
So that'll be a total of 5.
5, okay. So you stab into this creature, and where the nail kind of snapped, the blade kind of hits and sparks fly off its chitinous hide. The dagger does pierce a little bit into it, but not as far as you thought it would with that strike.
Chill touch being one that only has somatic and verbal, that I could do that.
Yes, that's 2 actions.
Okay, let me try that. The thing would have to make a fortitude save.
That is a whopping 14.
Sweet. So that means it's going to take. Those are good. Those are all really good rolls. So it's a living creature, correct?
It is.
Okay, cool. So then that's that plus my spellcasting modifier. I rolled 12, so plus that would be a 22
That
in
hits.
damage.
Oh, and damage. Okay. Yeah. So as you try to stab at this creature, you kind of pin it down just long enough to reach out and grab it with your hand. And as you do, you kind of feel that sorceress energy kind of spark up through your arm, and the ice starts to freeze over the creature. How do you want to do this?
Oh shit!
I try to stab the thing. I reach down. I do exactly what I told her not to do, and I pick the thing up and I just pump that chill touch right through it, and it goes. I'm just hold it up as it like falls limp. Okay. What now?
You told me not to touch it.
Do as she says, not as she does.
Exactly.
Mamie, come here. And like Rue's motioning Mamie to like check out Seraphina.
Yeah, when it's on my initiative, yeah.
No, we're out of initiative now.
Oh, okay.
So you can call her over. Go ahead and make me a medicine check.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, wrong accent for wrong character.
Did you hear me do Maisie for a second
Yeah.
when we came back? Because I
All
said
here,
y'all.
like-
I said y'all, and I was like, ooh, that's not Rue.
29.
29. She is very weak. She is drained. Her life force is flickering.
I kneel next to Seraphina. I'm like, okay, all right, hold on, everybody. Oh god, I hope I'm not too high for this. And I cast stabilize on her.
Okay.
Just to at least get her stable and not like, life force continuing to drain from her body.
Okay. As you start to kind of pour those healing energies into her, you see her form kind of just sort of like lift and pulse for a second before she kind of settles down, and her body just kind of goes not rigid, but it kind of goes peaceful. Her breath is more even now. She seems stabilized for the time.
Okay.
Oh, thank
Okay.
goodness for you, Mamie.
No. I'm just. What the fuck is that, Jax?
Yeah, can I look at that and see if it's like, I have some nature stuff, if I can see if it's like a type of parasite or something?
Yeah, can I check too? And would I know anything extra from having cast the dispel magic that made that thing come out?
Go ahead and you make me an Arcana check, and you make me a Nature check.
That's a natural 20 for a 29.
Let's fucking
Nice.
go.
I got a 17.
17. This is some sort of arcanically infused bug. It is not part of the natural order of things. It would be considered an aberration by most standards. Rue, with a natural 20 gives you, what was your total?
29.
29. Ooh, that's a crit success. Okay, so for this specifically, this creature is called a Domnipede.
So I've got some bad news, everybody. That's a Domnipede, which they kind of come to life out of negative situations and emotions and like live in the darkness. But what I think we've got going on here is that they can be used as an arcane foci, especially for spells that are used over a person, so like dominate person, charm person. But the really scary thing is that like it lasts longer when this is used. It can be reapplied from long distances, and you don't even need line of sight. It's a scary thing. They're not good.
So whoever
Well, fuck.
used it, will they know that it's no longer working?
I don't know, DM. Will they know that it's no longer? They will know that it's no longer working, Ash. So we're kind
Who's
of fucked.
DM?
Who's DM?
Is that your god?
No, wait, DM. That's short for Dantum. Oh my god. Oh god.
Rue's been affected.
Oh.
So should we should try to wake her up and see if she's normal again.
I mean,
Yeah.
she's just barely stable, though.
I was gonna say waking her up with your medicine roll, waking her up at this juncture would be a detriment to her care.
Yeah. Actually, Zach, I had a question for you. Just like, would I know if it's like a demon kind of thing or like a devil or evil? Like, just for the purposes of spells I'm interested in casting.
Make me a religion check.
Okay. Oh, hell yeah, baby, a 30.
Ooh,
Whew.
you have no idea.
You've
Go
never heard
on.
what is a demon? You don't even know. So
Damon, huh?
this has very specific demonic tendencies. The methodology here, the certain things they seemed out of place, but not really part of a puzzle until you start like mapping all these things together. And this sudden appearance of this thing, like demons are very known for making, subjects with these things for long periods of time. This all screams very, very, very highly possible that this is a demonic sort of situation. At least some worship of demonic entity or something of that capacity. Also, with your knowledge specifically of the freedom domain and of the air and all that, creating some sort of ceremony that binds someone's freedom and takes it away from them forever would be anathema to this location, to this holy site.
Y'all, we need to get this cleared the hell out of here. This is not just like upsetting the vibes in this place. This could actually, we need to get Seraphina out of here. We don't have to like wake her up or anything, but if we could just get her back to the tavern safely to heal. And
Is the tavern really the best place though? Because what's his face? Dantooine?
Dandelion, yeah.
Dandelion, that was it.
Davenport, yes.
Yes, all of the above. Wouldn't he know where she's at?
Yes.
I
Probably.
feel like we should probably put her somewhere where he doesn't know. Unless, I guess we could, because he knows something's wrong, right? That's what you said, Rue.
Well, okay, so I think we have a much larger questions here. Okay, well, one, is he the one that did this? Do we know for sure that he's the one that did this? Probably is, but maybe he's also messed up. We don't know.
Fuck, you're right.
We should just check. It's probably him, but we should check. And
So
then
Rue should cast whatever she did on him and see if a caterpillar comes out of his hand.
Like,
listen,
buddy, we just need to check you for bugs.
Yeah,
And then-
it's the traditional wedding
Pre-wedding.
screening of our people.
Yeah,
or we just go up to him, and if he is behind it, then he knows.
Yeah, that's also
true.
true. So okay,
True.
so we got that problem, and then on top of it, is there even a place here where we could take her where he wouldn't know where she is?
Probably not.
So I'm
Probably
thinking
not.
at least if we go back someplace we know is safe-ish, we could fortify. We fought off worse than this. He's one guy. It's fine.
Bug.
He's one guy. What? Maybe like 3 guys. It can't be that.
What
It
if-
can't be that big.
What if he has bugs in like everybody?
Well, then he's got bugs in everybody.
And
Then
then
he's not
that's-
just one guy. That's like everybody. It's a whole town.
Are you saying he's 3 guys in a trench coat?
Do we need to
Oh, is he
check
like 3
the,
rat
No,
folks?
bugs.
Do we need to
Rat
check the
folks.
spa people for
No, he's like
bugs?
No,
Oh.
we've got to stay
Bag
on
full of bugs.
mission.
Wait. Those tattoos on the folks here in the spa.
How many of them have matching tattooy deals?
Well, they had tattoos like all over, like they were all tatted up. Like
Even more mind
Lots of
control.
people have tattoos. Let's not judge.
Well,
Yeah, that's not really a fair assessment to say everybody who has tattoos has like bugs in them.
I can't show
Yeah.
mine.
About this time,
I've got my
the Minotaur comes lumbering back in with 2 trays.
Hey!
Does he have a tattoo on his wrist?
He does not.
Great.
He walks in, he sets the trays before you, and he goes, "What? Why does it feel weird in here?"
Kind of
Hey,
weird.
how
Do you
do
feel
you-
like, buddy?
I feel pretty groovy.
Okay, how are
That's
you with
right.
the weapon? How are you with the weapon, out of curiosity?
With the what?
With the weapon.
With a weapon?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't use weapons.
Great, never mind. You can leave.
I was gonna say I used. Okay, and he walks out.
Oh, he uses.
He might be a caster, Ash. You really just like limited like what
Hey,
kind
look.
of person he could be.
Not to like discriminate against casters or anything, but
I'm right here.
I'm right here.
magic can be canceled. You can't cancel a punch.
That's
We'll
not
save
true.
a
You can dodge a
You
punch.
can block,
And you can punch back.
and you can punch harder.
And you can attack with casting.
You can do that, but this guy's putting bugs in people with magic.
Watch.
And we do.
look
I don't
at-
like that.
We were saying that we weren't sure if it was him, but she told us that he was the one that did the tattoos.
Oh,
True.
True.
she
Okay.
said that.
Yes.
Yeah, she did.
I don't remember which conversation that was, or if I was even there, but I'm
It
pretty
was
sure someone
there.
said it to
You
me.
were there.
You were
You
there.
were
That was
there.
during the massage. I
Not
asked
listening.
You were not
okay.
listening, though. That's correct. You did not hear that.
For that. What we need, correct me if I'm wrong.
Don't say a plan.
No, I was going to give a plan.
Scheme.
I'm not trusting any of you to form plans anymore because some of you are on drugs.
It's kind
Anyway.
of worn off by now, but fine.
Okay. Okay.
Rue punches Ash in the shoulder.
Yeah, those of
Why
you
is that
those of you
necessary?
that like got high or had a little bit of a buzz going earlier, it's starting to wear down now, and you're starting to get to that sort of semi-delirious state where everything is just kind of anything could be the option.
Yeah. And
Anything
the
is
option
not the
for
option.
Rue was to punch Ash. But she sucks. She can't hit hard. So it's like a
Okay. I think we would all be better off if Serafina were functional. And I'm guessing she needs some rest in order to be functional. Do I get the impression, or can anyone give me an assessment of whether a night of sleep is going to fix this?
I don't know if we have a night of sleep though. Like, whoever did this knows it has worn off, so they're probably going to be looking for her.
So what if we go back to the tavern, fortify the room, and wait for whoever did this to come find her? Or
I'm
we
down.
make our
I'm game.
stand here in a bathhouse? That seems like a bad plan.
I mean, I think we should definitely leave here. But where to? I don't know. I've only really been to the tavern.
Same.
That's kind of why I'm thinking go to rooms, fortify the rooms,
We
wait and
should
see what
probably,
happens.
Like, be in the same room though.
Yeah.
Like, what if we're all?
No,
in
they're
our
not going to be
separate
in the
rooms?
same room. They're getting married tomorrow.
No,
tonight,
no.
though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, all of us should be in the same room.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Wait, it's bad luck for the groom to see the bride before they get married.
I'm pretty sure he won't care if bugs are involved.
I'm not sure he's gonna care if he's been dominating her with a spell.
Well, superstitions exist for a reason. I mean, but you're right.
I
Yeah.
think superstition goes out the window if you put a bug in somebody to dominate them, to convince them to marry you.
That's fair.
I'm pretty sure if you found out that bug left and that left them open to the possibility of not marrying you, and you had some reason for doing this in the first place, you'd probably throw tradition out the window and go put the bug back. But that's just me. Not me. That's what a person would do if they were that person.
I'm like, we gotta get out of here. And Rue's like
I'm just-
shoving.
Who's just
face
shoving
Replay.
the?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
We gotta go, like, right now.
We should pack some of this cheese though, because this is really good cheese.
Yeah, I'm grabbing cookies. Let's
I'm
go.
okay.
I'm
Grabbing
down with the
olives.
plan. 100%.
I'm
I'm
trying to
shoving.
help pick up Serafina, but I'm not very strong. So it's
I'll do it.
probably not going to go very well.
Oh, are you strong enough?
I mean, strength is my highest stat.
Go ahead and make me a strength check.
Well, we'll see.
Athletics check. Maybe
We'll see if I need to do what I'm
Athletics.
thinking.
It's a natural 20. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
no problem.
For no reason. I just wasted that.
You all are shocked and dumbfounded with how easy Ash picks up Serafina, who is probably about 1.5 times Ash's size.
I went to help and was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you got the boot. You got like the toe end of the boot, and you're like, I'm helping.
I got it.
Ash, did you get stronger? And Rue's like blushing, and you can't tell if it's the mushrooms or Ash.
Did we decide where we're going? Or we're going back?
To the tavern, I think,
To the
because we don't
tavern.
really know anywhere else in town, and unless we want to like board up the entrance to this
We don't
this
have material.
pool.
Do you see boards?
We don't have time for that.
I mean, I have stuff in my bags.
Give
You
boards?
I don't think we have time to board up a cave.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
I mean, I could
Back to the
probably
room.
cause
To the
like an
room.
explosion. Okay, I could.
No,
cause a
back to the
cave-in.
room.
Okay.
Explosions?
Save
No,
the
we're not going to
explosions for
explode
later.
the bathhouse. Thank you. No,
Okay.
Like the hot
Save the
springs can
explosions for
stay
the tavern.
unexploded. Back to the tavern.
All right,
To
so
the tavern.
you gather your friends, Ash, with ease, and start making your way back into the cold air of the night sky there. As you kind of walk your way back around, the cart is not there this time to take you back, but you walk your way back around the triangular shaped gate and back into the town proper and head your way back to the tavern. The complete wedding scene has now been set there, and you see this kind of boiling kind of basin of water in front of the statue now that's kind of bubbling over and over again. The chairs are aligned perfectly around in lines, 4 lines of 7 in 2 sets of rows. As you approach this scene, the bushes now that were there, that were initially thought to potentially be a symbolism of the same color hair that Serafina had, now float above their pedestals aflame. There is audience members, townsfolk in every chair.
We're a bit early.
As you approach to take that right into the tavern, you see Dantum step out from behind the statue. I
Hi.
guess our wedding has been pushed up then, no?
No.
Oh, I wasn't getting married to you. I already said that.
No, I mean, a wedding can't be pushed up if the person you're getting married to is unconscious and can't say yes.
That's true.
I can wake her up.
I don't think that would be a good idea. Mamie, who is like super into medicine, said she's not.
Yeah, she went way too hard on the bachelorette party. We need to. Listen, she's in great hands. Thank you so much for entrusting her to us today. We got like massages and everything, but
I mean, she had so much to drink that like she threw up like a bug, you know?
And-
so
While this is
And-
happening, can I look at the townspeople that are in the chairs and see if all of them have tattoos also?
Make me a perception test.
Oh, fuck you, Zach.
I'm assuming that like we don't have. Do we have our weapons? Like we were just in a
Yes,
spa.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. You have everything with you. I assume that you were gearing up when you came back into town at this
Awesome.
point.
Okay. Cool.
That's a 23.
23. As you scan across, you do see some variation of a smaller form of those tattoos.
That's what I thought.
They're not identical, but similar. And as he starts to walk down the aisle towards you, all of them stand up. They turn in towards each other to face you. this euphoric smile across their face, smoke dripping from their pores and from their eyes and their ears and their nose. Rue's killing me.
Nope.
Well,
Have you
run
considered
here.
not?
You see as those tattoos start to light up and their chest cracks and splays open as little demonic critters start to crawl out.
You know, I didn't really like the sound anyway. I think we should probably go.
I'm gonna go.
No.
You see as not all at once, but several of the bodies just shed the cavity of their chest, and these little demonic little creatures crawl out, and you see these little imps start to form in their places. I need everyone to roll initiative, please.
Yeah.
19.
26.
Let's together.
26.
What? How many times have we done that? How many times have we rolled the exact same thing?
At least 3. We've rolled the exact same thing.
So take the 26s and minus 20, and you have my number.
I get a 14.
As Lord Dantum approaches you, these bodies forming and transitioning into these imp creatures that are kind of popping from their chest at random intervals. Right now, there's only about 3 of them, but you can see the tattoos on the other necks are lit up as well. Lord Dantum starts to change. His form falls away, sloughing off, just like dead skin that's been left out in the sun too long. Underneath the male facade of what was Lord Dantum, you instead now see a dark-skinned, crimson in coloration woman. Long, curly horns that go straight up off of her head. She unfurls these massive bat-like wings, and a pointed tail kind of uncurls from around her. Children, it's time. The hour is nigh. And you see her eyes go alight with magic. And Seraphina needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
I'm holding her, aren't I?
A will saving throw.
Yes.
You are.
That's great. Okay.
Yeah.
Good,
It's gonna be great.
I'm gonna get stabbed in the neck.
Yeah.
No, she doesn't have her weapons.
I do though. She can just take them from me.
You see Seraphina bolt upright, stand straight up on your shoulder, like you still have her, but she is sitting like up, and you just hear a scream, just and just like screech across the night sky. It sounds like she is being pulled apart from 4 directions. And you see her shrug off the effects of the spell and then immediately pass back out and slip off of your out of your arms onto the ground. You just can't keep her up when she goes back dead weight.
We have to keep her safe.
Pity. Let's see who else I can get. And that is her turn. Rue and Ash. It's up to you how you can go at the same time. You can pick however you guys want to do it.
If we want to kind of attack at the same time, my plan was just to huck a ray of frost at her.
Ooh, yeah, I could hit like the frosted bits.
Yeah, so if we kind of like Rue will look at Ash and be like, that thing we do sometimes. And so what I'll do is do Ray of Frost.
Okay.
Which to roll to hit is a 27.
27 will hit. It is a success.
So that's going to be a total of 11 points of damage.
Okay. You kind of back up and release that beam of energy. And as you do, you see her kind of throw her arm up, and it kind of coats the outside of her arm, and you start to see that skin crack and kind of flake away under the pressure of that ice. Ash.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna fire. I want to do just all 3 of my actions firing arrows, just back to back to back. Okay, so my first one was a 26.
That will hit. And I'm assuming y'all are aiming at her, not the imp creatures.
Correct.
Okay, yes, that
Yeah.
hits.
So the first one's a 26. The second one, I rolled a natural 20,
Okay.
but that has the -5 on it.
So what is your total?
My total is 30.
Your total's a 30?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is a success.
Okay.
And the natural 20 increases it to a critical success.
Yes. Fantastic. And then the third one, oh no, that's a 5, 15 minus, no, just no. The third one misses, but I will roll the damage for the first two. Oh gosh, okay, so the first one is 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage? Okay.
Yeah, and the second one is 5 points of damage.
Everybody, normally speaking, kill the caster, break the spell. Rue just like yells out.
All right, so that's after Rue and after Ash.
So my spell took up 2 of my actions. For
Okay.
my final, if I just wanted to move, am I able to just move?
Yeah, you can just stride 30 feet or
Okay,
whatever your speed is.
Yeah, so Rue would just move to be closer to Ash and Serafina, just to help protect, and also since her and Ash are kind of more long range-ish anyway.
Okay. After Rue and Ash are done, then it's Mammy.
I am just going to lob a searing light directly at the demon. You shoot a blazing ray of light tinged with holy energy and make a ranged spell attack. The ray deals 5d6 fire damage.
Ooh.
And if it's a fiend or undead, I deal an extra 5d6 good damage.
Oh.
So, let's roll that beautiful bean footage one. That is a 19 to hit.
19 just misses.
Fuck. Okay. All right. That's
So-
fine.
You release the beam, and as she's watching on and watching you cast that, you see her get super anxious about that attack coming at her, and she just kind of does this full split, and it just goes over her.
Okay.
Actually beaming into the statue behind her, which kind of oddly lights the statue up in a nice kind of blissful way for a second before the energy dies down.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Halfling luck. If I fail it's a skill check or saving throw. Shit. Okay. Damn. I wanted to hit really bad. Okay, great. Well, not a big deal. I got some other spells. Okay. Yeah, we'll try admonishing ray then really quickly. Okay. Does a 30 hit?
30 does hit.
Okay, great. So that is going to be 2d6. Yeah, that's going to be 2d6 bludgeoning. Yeah, so 4 damage. And it feels like just because I'm pissed that my big spell missed, I just it feels like a big punch to the jaw of a big white fist comes out.
So both of those are 2 actions, so that would be 4 actions. So you can
Okay.
start casting the admonishing ray at the end of your turn,
Okay.
and then pick back up and start your next turn with the casting of that spell.
Okay, great. That works.
Okay, so you fire off the first ray, and then she does that split, and you get a better beat on her, and you think you got her now because she's locked in the place where she is, and you start to cast a second spell, and you still see that fear in her eyes from that first shot that you fired off at her.
I don't know if this is gonna do any good, but I'm gonna do it. Am I within 30 feet of her?
Yes.
Okay, sweet. I'm just gonna step in front of Serafina and go, I didn't want to do this, but you're gonna make me do this. And I open my mouth way too wide, and I'm gonna cast Vomit Swarm.
Okay.
It's a 30-foot cone. It's a basic reflex saving throw. And I'm just gonna open my mouth and I vomit out a bunch of roaches and wasps, and they start swarming everything in a 30-foot cone. and anything that fails its throw becomes sickened, as well as taking all of it takes 5, 8. Oh, those are really good rolls. 8. Math is hard. 13 points of piercing damage, and then anything that saves or anything that fails their saving throw becomes sickened.
Okay, so it seems that was the last thing that any of these creatures expected you to come up with, and they are all just completely doubling over and just vomiting right now.
Cool.
Yeah,
bugs
they
with
are.
bugs.
So yeah, they take a -1 to everything. That's rude.
Nice.
So yeah, you see as
Darn.
Jax steps up and just kind of almost unhinges her jaw, and you see this bug start to spill forth like that smoke did earlier from them. And as you hear this, all of a sudden there's this loud like vibration of wings noises and these kind of like chittering sounds as they kind of just spill forth, and they just start swarming everything in that audience section.
That's beautiful, Jax.
That's disgusting.
It's beautiful. It's nature.
Was that
You've
2
probably
actions?
seen me do this before, and I belch like wasps for a few days afterwards.
Is that a 2-action cast or is that a 3-action cast?
It's a 2-action cast.
And how much damage was it?
It was 13 points of damage, piercing
Okay.
damage, if that matters.
All right. After Jax, it is Chim.
Hey. So how far are we from her currently, like approximately?
You're probably about 30 feet away from her right now.
My movement's only 25 because I have short little legs. But I have an ability called Explosive Leap, where I, with my gadgets and whatever, it's with my innovation, which is my construct, I pretty much cause an explosion, and it causes me to go 30 feet, jump 30 feet. So I think that's just a 1-action thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So she's gonna do that. So you see her take Rusty and be like, Rusty, get me over there! And Rusty's just going to like have a thing that flies her over. Is there any sort of weapon or armor that this woman creature has?
So she doesn't seem to have any sort of weapon. She has claws. She has long, elongated fingernails. She doesn't seem to be holding anything per se, and she's wearing sort of a slinky kind of red dress that kind of cuts off at an angle down by the knees. It seems to be made of some sort of like svelte or suede or something like that.
Okay. So I probably could not tamper with her nails. And because it says explicitly, choose either a weapon held by an enemy in your reach or a suit of armor worn by an enemy in your reach.
I'd say you could tamper with her nail. I could see
I'm
it argument for it.
I'm gonna take some giant nail clippers and I'm gonna clip her nails.
There we
off.
go.
So I need to do a crafting check against the enemy's reflex DC. So that's a 19.
So she will save against that.
Okay. And when it doesn't work, I'm just gonna smack her with a mace.
Okay. So she pulls her hands back as you go after her with the nail clippers and just trying to clip anything you can. And like that distraction, she's like looking at her nails, making sure you didn't get it, and swing a mace at her.
Yeah, that's a better. I wish I could have rolled that for my tamper. That is a 27 to hit.
That will hit.
Unfortunately, not a lot of damage.
When the nail clipper doesn't work, you just crack her upside the head with a mace.
Exactly. So that's 2 bludgeoning damage.
So she is going to reach out and grab Chim.
Nope.
But she doesn't reach out with her arms. As you meet her gaze, she says, "Don't you want to love me forever?" And she,
I hate that.
go ahead and make me an athletics check, Chim.
Athletics?
Yes.
Here we go. 24.
24. So she reaches out with her eyes, and you feel like you just kind of want to walk into her arms. And she holds them out to embrace you, and you walk into them and she holds you tight. And then she kisses you.
I can't believe Chim's getting kissed before me.
You need to make a will save for me.
Oh, Will. Oh, that's my worst one. Oh no.
Oh no, Chim.
Okay, I rolled okay though. That is a 23.
23.
Uh-huh.
That does not quite make it.
Oh no.
As her words enter your mind now, as she kisses you, you feel the lips touch yours, and you feel this
Little rat
ever
lip.
so complicated desire as she says, protect me. At the same time, you suddenly feel drained, and you all watch as tufts of Chim's hair starts to fall out.
Oh, my fur.
And you gain the Drain 1 condition. 7 points of negative damage as your life force is sucked from your body in that exchange. The desire to protect her is ever present. I'll let you decide how you do that. Actually, she will stride backwards away from you now as she does not fear you anymore. She steps away from you and kind of walks back towards where the imps are. And this starts the first three that were starting to materialize have fully formed. So they will now take their one action that they are going to get.
Are there 3 imps total, or are there like a bajillion?
There are currently 3 imps. There are 56 bodies that could potentially become imps based on the evidence
Great.
over time.
Great.
I love everything about that.
Great.
Potentially become imps. Good sentence. Love it.
I need let's see who the closest were.
I think we were all in the same.
Yeah, y'all are kind of close. So
area.
Ash, Rue, and Jax. I need you all to make fortitude saving throws.
I got a 22.
22. Okay.
25.
25.
26.
26. Okay. So you're all fine as these spines shoot out of the imps towards you, and you sort of catch 2 or 3 needles in your arm, and you feel this kind of poisonous sensation kind of pulse kind of through your veins for a second, and you feel your body kind of fight that sickness off, that poison off.
Ow.
All 3 of you are fine through that. Let's see. They will then each turn into ravens, and they will take flight from the bodies, and the bodies just kind of slump to the ground from where they expelled themselves, and they are now flying overhead as ravens. And so that's Imp's turn, which brings us back to our 26s. So Rue and Ash.
Do we know that Chim is now against us? Like, was that very obvious?
I mean, we saw Chim get smooched.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah.
When she grabbed her and embraced her and then kissed her, as soon as she stepped away from her, you saw Chim kind of turn around, and you see that same black smoke billowing from her eyes.
I'm gonna shoot the devil lady.
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot the devil lady.
I'm gonna shoot Satan.
Oh no. Okay. Those are all 3 gonna miss, and my first one is a natural 1.
So as you pull that first one back, the bowstring kind of snaps back into your wrist, and the arrow kind of splinters in half. So you go to try to draw another one, but you just can't get your rhythm after that, and it's kind of like the arrows go flying errant through the air.
Maybe no more breaks from working as a team, everybody.
And I'm just like, shit.
I will cast Dispel Magic on Chim.
Okay, go ahead and make that roll for me.
22.
22 just let's see.
Huh?
No, actually, you reach out this time and you try to dispel, and Chim just looks at you as if you just called her the ugliest word in her language. she just kinda,
It didn't. Oh,
and
no.
you see this kind of like toothy smile start to form and curl on her lips, which is very disturbing to see a rat smile. But this is just this wide-brimmed, ear-to-ear grin, and behind her you see as the what you would refer to now as a succubus. The succubus kind of smiles behind as well.
Shit. Ah. That's it.
And they both kind of tilt their head towards you.
Good round, Rue. We had a great round. Good job.
Yeah, Ash, we're
Did great.
we're so good at this, Ash. We're so good.
Yeah, so Mamie is at all of this. She's still like at the edge of the aisle, and she's like, no, you know what? Fuck this. Actually, hold on. At the top of this turn, that's when like the hit from that.
Yes, the other
yeah.
one happened. Yep.
Yeah, so that hits.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll damage now?
Yeah, go ahead and roll your damage now.
Okay, great. Oh, fuck yeah, that's an 11 bludgeoning damage. So, yeah, so that's like the big, bright, light fist just like crunches into the demon's face.
Okay. Any specific coloration as it expunges from your hand?
Oh, I mean, it is like I'm like throwing it. Like I'm not a person that looks like I throw a punch ever, but this is just like I don't get mad. But this is different because now my friend has been smooched, and that's a bad thing. So yeah, so she just like throws like the biggest magical punch she can fucking muster, and there it is. And it's big. It's probably like as big as my head as it like flies through the air to like crunch across the demon's chin. And so you said another spell would be another two
actions, yeah.
2 actions.
So
okay.
you all watch it as Mamie just kind of pulls back and releases this spell-like punch, and it just kind of flies through the air and kind of arcs over Chim, and just kind of drives like from the top of the head down into the succubus's skull. You see this like kind of greenish blood kind of splatter across the ground, which is very vibrant against the white snow and the rock.
Awesome. Hell yeah. And then because I'm gonna try again with searing light, because god damn it, I was so close last time. Let's try it again. So I'll throw a searing light out, just like point my hands like this directly at the demon at the end of the aisle. And 23. The big one. The big one.
Just hits.
Yes.
Like
thank
spot
Jesus.
on the AC, just hits.
Oh,
Nice.
thank God. Thank Jesus. Okay, great. So wonderful, because that's 5d6 damage. That's 18 damage, 1. 2, it's another 18. I mean, it's another 5d6 good damage. So that's 18 plus 18. Oh my God. 36. Holy shit. 36.
Nice.
How do you want to do this?
Let's go.
Get him.
Mamie, she's all love and light and oh yeah, like let's check your vibes, you know, like we just, but like there's just something about like, you know, that moment in the bathhouse where I finally got to talk to Danessa. There's the moment of taking over my friend and, you know, suggesting that she, you know, try to fight against us. There's wanting to take away the freedom and like the bastardization of love here in this marriage that like courses through this tiny halfling body. And I just am able to channel all of that energy into this searing light. And like it's like I imagine, you know how like Sailor Moon, when she like casts like Moon Tiara magic, and it's like this big arc of energy like coming out. It's very much that. It's very much like that, just like pouring its way through the air, like spinning around and around until it just like catches the demon in its gut. And it's like a burst of like sparks and like, you know, it's stars coming off or whatever, as it just kind of like imbues like goodness into this thing is what I'm imagining. So
as you release the spell, you feel your tiny halfling form kind of lift up into the air as the winds and the air pockets kind of pick you up, and you start just literally walking across the air towards her. And you start to your hand starts to crackle with this brilliant, like silvery moonlight energy. And you release the first one. The admonishing ray had just finished hitting her in the skull, just kind of driving her face down before the second one kind of picked her up off the ground, kind of grabbing under the Zypwood process, lifting her up. And you hit her with a second blast, and then a third, and a fourth. And this whole time you're walking across the air towards her. Mm-hmm. As the final blast hits, you see that beam of energy just kind of like slice through the night air. And as it does, you beam through all three of the ravens that are flying above as well and drive this force through her. It catches in her chest, and you're just standing there and just like seething anger, building and building and building like a dam about to burst before the chest starts to crack with light. And she just explodes into a million little particles of stardust.
Don't piss off the cleric.
The other bodies in the form, you see the tattoos burn away as they all drop unconscious before you, minus the 3 that unfortunately did not make it after the scenario.
Mamie, this is the angriest I've ever seen you. It's really cool and scary.
I need a shot. Right now, I need to take the edge off. I need a shot. Does somebody have vodka or something?
I'm gonna hand her one of the like wine skins that was with all of our stuff.
At that moment, Seraphina sits pulled upright, and you see her, and she's holding up her flask.
Seraphina!
And you see the color starts to return to her face, and her hair starts to glow that vibrant color of bright reddish orange again.
Welcome
and her eyes
back.
relight with the flame. Where am I?
Oh.
Almost
no.
married
Well,
to a demon.
Almost what?
Yeah, that happens. Well, it didn't happen.
I mean, we don't necessarily know all the details because, like, we weren't here and then we got an invitation to your wedding.
And she starts snatching you all up and just grabbing you each one by one in these massive bear hugs, lifting you off the ground in some cases.
Okay. I don't really.
Touch my fur.
Thanks, Al.
okay. The vibes are correct. The vibes are absolutely correct. But then I just polish off like the wineskin and serve.
Oh, I can't. Oh, I'm so glad you're back, Seraphina. You were very not you.
You wanted to have girl talk.
Yeah, it was gross.
Her whole face drops. I wanted to do what?
Yeah, that's how we knew it was wrong.
You heard me.
I mean,
You
we
were
knew
gonna
it was
marry
wrong
a man.
then.
Okay, give me that.
You were
She
gonna
takes her
marry a
flask
man.
back.
You were gonna marry a man,
That was
and
the
I
first.
kind of thought that was weird based on how much we know you, but you know, you learn more about yourself as you go throughout life, so I wasn't gonna put you in a box, but
No judgment. It was
What?
the girl talk for me
box
that
is
did it.
What the fuck was I on then, eh?
A bug. You were on a bug.
it was
Yeah, there was a bug in you.
yeah,
It was a bug.
It was a bug that's used as an arcane foci to take control of other people.
The spellcasting heebie-jeebies. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Ugh.
It broke my
All right.
nail.
I need to drink. I need to fight. I need to eat. And then we need to hit the road, right? That's what we're doing. That's why we're here, right? That's what we're doing. This whole thing about the wedding thing, that never happened. Agreed?
Oh, it happened.
Well, it technically didn't happen
It
because
so
we stopped it.
happened. But everything before it totally happened. I'm never gonna forget you saying like, "I love girl talk." Like it was.
You took us to a spa.
I'm going to get drunk. And she turns and she walks into the tavern.
And as she's walking, I'm just following and like, I just love him so much. And I'm just
He's
like,
the best thing to ever happen to me. Oh,
It-
didn't you hear, Rusty?
She starts picking you up and collecting you like under arms and over
I just
shoulders
knew
as you
from
all.
the moment our eyes met.
we got matching tattoos. We're getting married after only 6 months of dating. It's totally normal.
No red flags here.
So with that, you all walk inside the tavern, much happier having your friend back and having each other back. You partake in a meal and a few drinks, lots of laughs. You rest the night away. The next morning, you set off for a brand new set of adventures. And that is where we'll end tonight's episode.